Alright, hello. We're here. Gonna cast some new player games. Go ahead. Let me link stream and all that. Channel that there. And the Twitch. Um okay. Spectate keys first. Throw the jam. Hey Seed, how's it going? How'd the tournament go for you? Let me open up the actual page there. The top four. So for the top four, fact have and Chimbambu versus Ash. Let me show that real quick. As you can see here, Ryuki versus E6A6 and Chimbambu versus Ash. Hey Shiryuki, how's it going? Pretty good. I was playing Nurgle, so the Beastman matchup seemed pretty rough. Yeah, I completely get that, especially in Conquest. Especially in Conquest. If it was like Domination or Land Battle, I'd say obviously things could go a lot better. But in Conquest, yeah, it'd been pretty tough. So I guess I don't know. I suppose there's some merits there. I mean, it is at the end of the day just land battle, but with the capture point, so you can still technically, I guess. No, you can't even force them off the point or anything, really. But I guess you can just poke at them while they're on the point, right? But all right, we have Falling Star on the Skaven. Skaven, no surprise, bringing AK Claw. AK Claw, rocking Brass Orb, Unlimited Power, Storm Demon, Howling Warp Gale. You guys already know the gist. Frenzy and Ruin. Pretty much all AK Claw players bring the same thing for a certain reason. It's just that good. Clan Rat Spears, more Clan Rats, some Storm Vermin as well, and regular Clan Rats. We got three Warplock Giselles. One being the Natty Boo Sharpshooters. They have Snipe. They're really good. We all know that. And some Wolf Rats. Only just the one? I think just the one. Okay. Also some Rat Ogres, of course, to protect the back line. For the Wood Elf side, we do have a Spellweaver of Life on her Eagle with Earthblood and Opal Amulet plus Life Bloom. The rest of the armies, mostly going to be Eternal Guard, whole bunch of Glade Guard, Starfire Shafts, and regular Glade Guard 2. The Starfire Shafts are obviously for the AP. You're going to be shooting them at like Ikit, Warplock Giselles, etc. And then Glade Guard, just anything really. But yes, a whole bunch of Internal Guard and a whole bunch of Dryads. Dryads will obviously beat through most of the Skaven infantry. We have Glade Riders, vanguarded all 3, 1 in the back line and 2 on both flanks. Actually, 2 in the back line. And funnily enough, the Wolf Rats are vanguarded right next to them. So bye-bye to those Wolf Rats, hopefully. But as for this matchup, I'm a little scared here for the Wood Elves, but we'll see what they can do. Also, I didn't notice with the Wild Hunters of Kernus too. The Wild Rider RR should help deal with a lot of the Rat Ogres, but obviously if they get swarmed or just picked off by Warplock Giselles, that could be pretty nasty. Or if they take a bad Flames in Ruin. Oh, 2 actually got vanguarded back here. What the heck? Doesn't have much to catch Synagors in a fight they didn't want. Yeah, pretty much. The oh, right. Okay, yeah. So for some reason I thought you were Beastman against Nurgle, and I thought Nurgle was kind of just like sitting on the point. And you couldn't do anything about it. But no. Yeah, no. I mean, they can kind of dictate the mobility game. But at that point, I mean, you just sit on the point, I suppose. But already, right off the bat, the Glade Guard, Starfire Shaft have taken a tremendous amount of damage. I'm not sure from what. That was my fault for looking away. But Glade Riders have made their way through the back line, but unfortunately have not been microed enough to continue pushing on. The Wolf Rats have been shut down completely by these Glade Riders. Glade Riders continue on through the back line and possibly getting on top of the Warplock Giselles. We have some Dryads catching out these Clan Rats. They should mulch through them pretty quickly. Infantry-wise, the Dryad should absolutely murder through most of the Skaven in general. But one Assassin is blocking up this entire Eternal Guard. These Glade Riders have finished off these Clan Rat Spears, can make their way around, get onto these Warplock Giselles and shut those guys down. Now that the Glade Guard are actually within range, they can start shooting at the Warplock Giselles. They do have Silver Shields, so they can mitigate about 55% of those shots. But that's still not a trade they want. Natty Boobers are still up and about 100% HP, which is pretty good. You can start shooting and doing some pretty solid damage into these Dryads, though I would probably switch over to one of the range components of the Wood Elves or their Wild Hunters. Dryads getting into the engagement with the Clan Rats, but some Rat Ogres are here to support. They can probably run down these Dryads too with the help of Ikit. Storm Vermin making their way over, trying to chase down these Glade Riders, which isn't really a good idea. You should keep them in the back. Don't over chase with them, as you chase with them, then you leave them unprotected. The Rat Ogres are going to have to respond, and by the time the Rat Ogres respond, the Warplock Giselles are going to be shut down. It is quite unfortunate. These Warplock Giselles need to turn around as well and begin shooting. But yeah, looking pretty good for the Wood Elves right now, unfortunately. For the Skaven, a lot of their backline is relatively compromised, but the one unit that isn't compromised, that's really important, is the Natty Boober Sharpshooters, and they're just nailing shots right now into the Glade Guard. It's a really nice volley there. But yeah, those are going to be your opportune choices, your opportune targets, the Glade Guard and the other range components of the Wood Elves with those Warplock Giselles. He could just rolling around dirty with the Rat Ogres, just picking and choosing engagements and running Wood Elf infantry down. Dryads and Eternal Guard will lose out to the Storm Vermin, especially at their health pools. But no, they're doing the best they can. A nice brass orb on top of those Glade Guard, going to do some solid work. I'm not sure what beat up the Assassins so much, but they're in pretty dire straits. These Warplock Warpluck Giselle is probably going to be finished off here by the Glade Riders as they're shut down completely. These Warpluck Giselles are continuing to shoot into the backs of those Glade Riders. But those Glade Riders aren't really too important as long as you have your Rat Ogres nearby, and you do have these Rat Ogres. But those Rat Ogres are currently fighting the Wild Hunters of Kernus, who have taken quite a bit of a beating. And I mean, quite a bit of beating is an understatement. They're down to 30 models and almost a third of their HP, almost a quarter. But the Natty Boomer Sharpshooters did get shut down, however, so it might have been a worthwhile trade, as the Wild Hunters are still up and about, continuing to move around with 67 leadership, so probably not going to be routing anytime soon, unless something dire happens. But these Warpluck Giselles also get shut down, so both of the range components left for the Skaven side are gone. We have a whole bunch of infantry left for the Skaven side, or at least, let me see, we have Storm Vermin, we have one unit of Clan Rats, and some more Clan Rats back here, so not a whole lot actually. But to be fair, neither does the Wood Elves. They have 1, 2, 3 here, and then most of them, the rest is just range aside from, okay, yeah. We have some Dryads here, but they're beat up, and then one Eternal Guard. But some Rat Workers do come back, and some Skaven stuff is probably going to start coming back as well, including the Natty Boomer Sharpshooters. They still have 12 models, so they still have plenty of damage to be doing. The Wild Hunters are also completely shut down as Ikit Claw runs them down. Now that they have nothing to deal with, now they have no like anti-large mobility, large mobility in general. A lot of their, I think all their cav are gone. Yeah, that's the only cav unit left for the Wood Elves that are completely shut down. Well, the mobility is going to be able to be dictated by the Skaven, but the issue is here is that, as you can see, the Wood Elves have been racking up points this entire game so far, up to 252, as they continue to hold the point. Another Brass Orb going to be going down on those Glade Guard, going to do some solid work there. And at the meanwhile, they're also being, I think, shot at the moment. Yeah, they're shooting them at the moment, and they're absolutely obliterating those Wood Elves. But the Wood Elves right now are currently shooting it. What is doing so much damage to the Spellweaver? My God. Was it the... I'm guessing it was the Storm Demon, most likely. Because, ouch. Eternal God continue trying to chase the Natty Boomer Sharpshooters, but the Skaven player is playing this smart and force pathing these Clan Rats in front of them, trying to stop them from moving each time they try to go past. These Wild Hunters 147 HP, and they're going to be killed off by Clan Rats. Rat Ogres coming back. They need to come over to support Ikit. But I think it doesn't really matter. I think Ikit can probably, considering the lack of ammo left on the Glade Guard, and Ikit being able to dictate engagements, you can just probably run over all of this and completely solo that remnant of an army. Eternal Guard completely continue to chase off the Storm Vermin with the help of the Eagle Spellweaver. We have some Rat Ogres coming back and Clan Rats, but they're being chased off by Eternal Guards, so they're most likely not going to be able to come back. These Rat Ogres are fighting with Ikit, but they're going to be routing here soon, as Ikit is probably pretty disappointed with them, but I mean, what can you expect? Not everybody can be a heavily armored 110 Doom Wheel, so you can't blame the Rat Ogres too much. But overall, balance of power looking more so in favor of the Wood Elves, probably because they have more healthy units on the field. The issue is obviously that Ikit is still a problem. I don't know what their Winds of Magic is looking like at the moment, but if they can get a Flame's Run out, that could spell doom for the Wood Elves. But we do have a bit of a resurgence. I mean, the Natty Boomers still have 5 more volleys left to shoot in, and despite them only having 11 models, that's still plenty of damage they can put into these Blade Guard and Dryads. But Ikit Claw continues to roll dirty, and as these Wood Elves get punted, they can start to regret choosing a fight in the desert, where they're not able to hide in their stinky little forests. And now they get punished for it by being rolled over by this insane hamster wheel. a Frenzy Rune hitting the Triads, and you know, it's just will the Eternal Guard also. I can't remember if it's a like an area. Yeah, it is right. Yeah, so it's gonna hit Eternal Guard as well as they make their way over to the point. So it's a solid place to put the Flaming Rune there. But this is where things will start to turning around. As I said, the Flaming Rune doing as much damage as it does, and then Icky Claw being as healthy as he is, he's just gonna run around and start terror routing things, rolling dirty, smashing Wood Elves, and just, you know, making some new bloodstains on the ground into the dirt. Yeah, Icky Claw is a menace, no surprise there. This Eternal Guard probably need to make their way over to the point if the Wood Elves are trying to take it back, and they obviously probably should. Blade Guard are still up and shooting again. They don't have 11 models. I'm sure after they have this first initial volley, they'll immediately route. And yeah, there they go. But these guys are still up, and these guys are back up and shooting. They have 32 models, plenty of potential to shut down those rare ogres. Issue is with their leadership hold up, they're down to -2 already. So I imagine they won't stick around for long. Hold on, what? Did army losses kick in? And I wasn't noticing? Huh? Yeah, this is top 4. What happened? Did I miss army losses? At what I was focused on the rat ogres? Bot. Hold on, let me get rid of that bot. Oh right, yeah, I know they have the point, but did they get up to 500? I wasn't paying attention to the amount of points left. Oops. Oh yeah, I see. Dang! Wow, okay. So the point actually won the game there for the Wood Elves. Oh my god, I can't believe I missed that. I thought that Skaven would eventually capture the point. So what the heck? Did they just not capture the point in time, or did they leave the point? What did I miss there? They never capped the point? No, don't tell me that. I completely thought, like, I just disregarded it. I was like, okay, the Skaven are going to get this. They're going to capture the point. There's not going to be any Wood Elf infantry left on the point. They can capture it, and that's pretty much the game. What? No, don't do that. No. They didn't come back fast enough. Oh, that's so bad. Ah, that's so unfortunate. Wow, Shirayuki saved by the bell. Oh my god, Ikiclaw. You're the smartest technician, the engineer on the Skaven side, and you forgot about the objective, Ikiclaw. What happened? They actually won because of the I hardly ever see a Conquest match where somebody actually wins maximizing the amount of tickets. Usually I just see army losses kick in. Ah, that's so unfortunate. 1687 for Ikit. 695, 903, 1714 for the Natty Boober Sharpshooters, 907, 1333, 682 there. It was an unfortunate position for those wolf rats. They just, surprisingly, they lasted a little longer than I thought they would, but yeah, they got pretty much, they got ransacked. They were vanguarded right next to two Glade Rider calf. Value-wise, everything else was nothing spectacular. 1942 on the Wild Hunters, of course. Oh, that is so unfortunate. I feel for the Skaven player. I was gonna say Ikit player, but honestly, it fits. Let me join in on the. That sucks so much. But um but you know, it is Conquest. Can't forget about the point. I don't know if maybe they thought that they could kick in army losses, or again, they just like were so hyper focused that they just completely forgot the point existed. I don't know, but it's so unfortunate. Oh, Chimbabu's been dropped. Oof. Um. Hopefully they can join on back. My defensive point is so tiny and I zoom way out. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Do you use debug camera? Is that what it is? Also, on some maps, it's duly noted that pretty much on all the maps, or like not all the maps, but a majority of the maps, the cap point size is like different. It's weird. CA like messed up when making the cap point for all the maps they made, or for all the maps that they added it to, and they're like different in sizes. They like vary in sizes, which is really weird. Yeah, just on the edge of it. If the disconnect happens again, I'll back out and see if that fixes it and let them play. And we can just watch replays in the meantime, but hopefully things are fixed now. But are you guys warming up a little bit more to Conquest? I know we were just talking about obviously the faults of it, or like the point actually mattering a bit. But are you guys warming up to it a bit more? Yeah, Demons of Chaos. Oof, a little bit of lag already right off the bat. If they persist, okay, if it persists, I'll just jump out. Or hop out, rather. But, okay, let me see. Lagging a little bit. Anyways, okay, so we have a Herald of Zinch for the Demons of Chaos side with Chromatic Tome, Final Transmutation, and Arcane Conduit. Triple Fiends. No surprise there. Fiends are incredible right now. So typically you're going to see at least 2 or 3 of them. A whole bunch of Chaos Furies in the air for the Air Force or the Demons of Chaos side. Some Bloodletters, 4 of them in total, with some Nurglings up front and the Sour Guts in the back. So a more classic Demons of Chaos build just with fiends this time. For Norska, we do have Wolfric on a freaking mammoth. You hardly ever see that. Speaking of, yeah, just okay. Seafang and Hunter of Champions. Like I just had to like register that. Yeah, this is like a Warhammer 2 thing right now going on. Soul Crusher plus the plus Wolfric on a mammoth. Double mammoth. One being the ROR was definitely Warhammer 2 thing. It does have this nice and raid mechanic, giving that 40% ward save, which is pretty cool. But yeah, mammoths are pretty haggard. Just gotta say they're pretty tough to bring. But two Marauder champions and double Marauders. We also have the Brutes of the Hound, which is very interesting to bring against Demons of Chaos, as they have like no magical attacks. First of all, they have pretty pitiful melee defense, so they will take damage even from Nurglings. So you know, plus no shields as well, so they could be shot by blues and pinks. It's risky, kind of say, but they do have spell resistance from that being corn, which is pretty nice, of 35%. Marauder Horsemasters, triple them. I wonder how they'll do against Bloodletters though. Will they win against Bloodletters? Maybe. I imagine it'd be pretty. They have a much better stat line compared to the Bloodletters, but obviously Bloodletters have that physical resistance. Do Birds of the Hound have physical resistance? I don't think so. I guess they do have the Berserk, of course. Wait, hold on. Okay, yeah. I was like, where the heck is this spellcaster? I'm blind, apparently. Burning Head and Flaming Sword. Yeah, lag continues, and again, if it continues even further than this, like for like a minute or two into the game and there's still a bunch of lag, I'll just back out. Hopefully it fixes it for them. Yeah, triple Horsemaster Vanguarded as well. Looks great. Yeah, I enjoy Conquest quite a bit. I find the point very rarely makes any difference. I usually just play it same as Land Battle. Just wanted to say Nayseed ended my entire career. I can no longer play Total War. Nayseed, were you Warriors of Chaos again? Is that what it was? Yikes, this is okay. This is some pretty bad lag. What do you guys say? Should we hop out and let these guys try playing, see if it helps out, and watch the replays instead? Because I can't expect to want to force you guys to watch this. Nurgle. Oh, so you use Nurdu's Nurgle against them? How could you? How could you? Also, his disc is just completely gone. He's just floating in thin air. What is happening? Yeah, let's just, I'm just going to back out of here. Hopefully that fixes things. And we can watch replays and we'll go into the grand finals after that. Let me just let them know real quick. Yes, the finals. Yeah, a Zinch moment. Zinch just took away the disc, decided that that Herald didn't deserve the disc. Alright, let's just cast some games, some regular games we got here. First one up, Born, Scarbrand versus... Okay, I'm not even gonna try to butcher your name here. La Luna. I tried. I butchered it. It's fine. All in the name of corn. But you have Korn from Scarbrand up against La Luna on the Lizardman. La Luna, you better do me proud with the Lizardman. I expect a lot from the Banana Toad. Alright. Right off the bat, we have an Exalted Bloodthirster for the Lord, pretty Chad, with Deathbringer, giving that a weapon strength increase. We also have Karanak as well. Does he have his collar? Presumably, yes. Yes, obviously he does because he has the AoE. Yeah, the brass collar. So silences any enemies near range in that 55-meter range, which is pretty annoying, gotta say. I absolutely hate going against Karnak, especially as the Lizardman. Just my slants like never ever have the opportunity to do anything because of him. But you know, you do have the mask to deal with it. It's just like a mosquito constantly buzzing in your ear. But yeah, he also has his net, the Prey of the Blood God, does damage and is a net. So he's pretty annoying all around. Marauder Horsemen, throwing axes. We got 4 of them in total. Obviously, you got to bring days when you're up against Lizardmen. They will obviously take damage from Skink Skirmishers in return fire, but they can also whittle down any big dinos that the opponent brings, which typically they are going to bring. We have some Chaos Warhounds on both flanks. No, actually 1 Chaos Warhound and the Hounds of the Bloodhunt Flesh Hounds ROR. Pretty great unit. They have Silence, as they actually have Dampen. Reducing any spell resistance and remove magical attacks. Plus they also have Gore Feast for that regen. Minos with great weapons, gotta bring those, and a whole bunch of Marauders. For the Lizardman side, we do have a Banana Slan with... Actually, this is... Yeah, this is a Banana Slan. Alright, the Banishment. Anyways, Earthblood, Regrowth, Banishment, Bound Banishment, Shield of the Old Ones, Blood Statuette, and Cold-Blooded. For the rest of the army, we're going to have Skink Cohorts, a whole bunch of Skinks, more Skink Saurus as well, just regular Saurus, no spear variants. We also have some Javelins, and we have a single unit of Temple Guard with double Stegodon, which is an interesting choice for sure. Definitely more of a Warhammer 2 thing, again, to bring back Warhammer 2, but yeah, I mean, maybe they can pay for themselves here. At the end of the day, they still are Stegodons. They do have that terrible ballista on them. That ballista really sucks. But at the end of the day, again, they are Stegodons. So they're decent fighters and can just run around being mobile terror pieces. We also have some Feral Cold Ones in the back. And that's pretty much it. Some Skink Skirmishers for the skirmishing. Just going to be relying on those Stegodons, who are right now firing at the Exalted Bloodthirster, slowly whittling him down. He does have that physical resistance, which obviously helps a bit with 20%, but he has no missile resistance himself. So, already the Marauder Horsemen getting into combat, which is obviously just a bit of a misplay, as they're now about to rout and get surrounded by the Skinks. Do they actually end up routing? I don't think they do. No, they don't. Nice. They've actually managed to escape in time. Blood Statute of Spite, hitting these horsemen, and now a banishment is coming in as well. Probably going to be hitting those Hounds of the Blood Hunt plus the Martyr Horsemen. Actually, the banishment got cancelled possibly. I'm not sure, but a Shield of the Old Ones goes down. These horsemen get routed off. Hounds of the Blood Hunt are disengaging. Marauders do get into the fight. So does Karanak. Karanak can probably push through and get onto the Slan if need be. The Minotaurs also get into the fight too and start are absolutely deleting those poor Skinks. Over here on the right hand flank, Feral Cold Ones taking a bad engagement with the 2 Marauder Horsemen. Actually, I think they got frenzied, or they got rampaged and forced to take that fight, unfortunately for them. Skinks get beat down by Marauders and the Exalted Bloodthirster. So far the infantry fight is going terribly for the Lizardmen. No surprise there, as you should expect with mostly bringing Skinks. Though the Saurus are there fighting. Issues, they're now going to be taking volleys from throwing axes on the sides, and obviously having to deal with the Bloodthirster. The Javelins getting some nice volleys into the Marauder Horsemen. Probably got to turn around and start shooting at these guys instead. Same with the Stegodons. Stegodons should probably start shooting at the Horsemen too, or now having to fight the Bloodthirster. some sneaks will most likely eventually coming back. These minos are slowly being grinded down by the infantry fight. These swords probably need to be brought back for sure to help out with this main engagement, as their slime might end up being killed. I guess the temple guard are still there. Where are they actually? Right here. But they're not engaged at all with the fight. The Lizardman player seems to have pretty much forgot about them, in fact. And that might end up getting their Slan killed, because their Slan is just being picked apart by the Bloodthirster and Karanak. And now we're going to get a Sword of Corn here. Oh, come on. Please don't do this to me. Please don't do this to the Temple Guard. Oh, brutal. Those poor Temple Guard. Oh, that's nasty. Why'd you got to deal with them like that? Oh, come on, dude. That's heinous. That's so heinous. Jeez. Yeah, I hate to say it, but I think this game is probably, I mean, obviously they have the 2 Stegodons. The issue is that they had all that winds of magic generating, and it's going nowhere, and now the Slime is being killed, running that leadership penalty as well. And yeah, the Throwing Axes pretty much have like nothing to threaten them at the moment. The Stegodons can obviously try chasing them down, but they're just gonna get skirmished to death. And yeah, the Bloodthirster is, you know, he's still kicking about half HP, so I think it's probably going to be going to the core in here. How are the Minos doing? Let's see. The Minos, they're about a quarter of their HP left. They still have plenty of time, but the issue is they're now going to be rear charged by infantry and surrounded. But the Corn player is trying to pull them out. They're next to start throwing continuous massive volleys, and again, that will add up very quickly, and that's why you need that life slant to heal them up and throw down shields of the old ones. But unfortunately, this land is now dead. I'm going to speed things up a bit here, as I pretty much think the Corn player has won this. Though, now I'm saying this, Corn doesn't exactly have much infantry left. There has one Marauder unit that's obviously coming back. Same here as well. We have 1 unit of Marauders. The Bloodthirster and Karanak are pretty much all that's left, aside from the Minos, I suppose. The Minos are here, putting a big fight in. We have the Flesh Hounds, or actually the Chaos Warhounds, who are running off. We have another Sword of Corn, absolutely doing those poor Temple Guard dirty. I mean, the Stegodons, will they clutch it out here? I don't know. There's two great weapons here. I think that Stegodon's gonna be shut down, and once that specific Stegodon gets shut down, it's over. Where's the other one at? Are they both here and I'm just not missing them, or did the other one get killed? What am I missing here? Oh, it got routed off. I see. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, if I noticed that the other Stegodon had routed off, I would have declared it over earlier. Yeah, losing that Banana Slam obviously just pretty much sealed the deal in. You had no way to heal any of your 2 centerpieces, your 2 expensive centerpieces, who, by the way, are not going to pay for themselves either, or rather are not going to clutch the game out for you anyways. I mean, to be fair, if the Great Weapon Minos weren't like as healthy as they were, if the Skink Skirmishers were still up and shooting, I think those men would have had a chance. But the Minos were pretty much going to go uncontested once this land went down, and once one of those Stegodons got compromised. Yeah, because like your Skink Skirmishers are the only thing that could do really consistent fire or shots into the, or consistent damage into the Minos or the Throwing Axes. Yeah, 1658 here on the Bloodthirster. I don't think that Bloodthirster could take a 2v1 with the Stegodons by himself, but obviously he has Karanak and he has the 2 Minotaurs, so. But Throwing Axes did great. No surprise there. 1,000 value on this one, 633 and 666. 666 to Corn. 806, 536, 1229. Banaslan, nothing to write home about. 1,013 on those guys. The poor Temple Guard, man. They still managed to pick up 1,300 value despite taking 2 Swords of Corn. That's insane. 1278 and 894 on the Stegodons. And I guarantee you a lot of that was not from the ballista. It was probably just from them fighting. What of corn is what rot glorious rot wishes it was. Is rot glorious rot that bad? I don't remember. I mean, to be fair, I barely see anybody use it, so it would make sense. It just makes sense to constantly pick the healing choice, right? Or Curse of the Slug. I occasionally use Curse of the Slug, but most likely I save up for the healing spell. Because you always want healing, isn't it, right? Yeah, Rot Glorious Rot is never an opportune choice at all. But what played to both players? Yeah, the Sword of Corn is drop is so satisfying. Sometimes I just give it to the corn player and I let them have because that's all they have. The silence would be a lot fairer if it was a contact effect. Yeah. Um. All right, let me hop into Shiryuki's lobby. Really, it did nothing even got a spread. That's super unfortunate. Yeah, I've pretty much never see anybody use it. I gotta test it out one of these days, but I think there's a chart out there somewhere with like all the damage values of like direct damage spells. Obviously, its spreading is pretty nice, but if the damage is just that bad, then it's never worth using. Alright, hopefully things don't lag. Let me make sure to download the replays from here. Okay. Alright. So we have Doc versus the Wood Elves. Who would I put it in favor of here? Obviously depends on the player, but and the type of build that's brought. But I'll root for the Wood Elves here. Why not? Let me just do this real quick. I'll do a little poll. You guys can vote. Toss your votes in. Alright, we'll take on the blocker and get right into it. We do have Doc versus the Wood Elves. Herald of Zinch, of Metalcaster brought. Hopefully he brought his disc this time. And Durthu, I think he's probably the best choice up against Doc, honestly. He's a very solid fighter, good caster, constantly spamming out Flocks of Doom, and he does that sort of death. And he's just kind of like really tough to get rid of. Solid armor being a tree man, so a lot of the pinks and blues missile fires won't do much. So any lag so far? Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a bit of lag. As you can see, even the HUD was lagging. But we'll go with the armies real quick. Let's see, hopefully it subsides. If not, then again we'll dip out. Sword of Death, Block of Doom, and Wild Heart. I have a whole bunch of Eternal Guard with Glade Guard with Hagbane Tips, and Glade Riders with Spears, and we also have the Wild Hunters of Kurnus. They do have those magical attacks, so it helps a lot when they're up against Demons of Chaos. Firebark Elders do have that fire resistance, so mitigate a lot of that pink and blue fire, plus magical attacks too. So wonderful against the against Doc. They also give flame resistance in general to anything nearby, which is pretty nice. Dryads, up Vanguarded up front, and just some. Are these all Hagbane tips? Yeah, all 4 of them are going to be Hagbane tips. So poison, magical attacks, magical missiles, pretty good. Herald of Zinch on he forgot his disc again. I don't know if Zinch is just trolling him at the moment, playing tricks on him, but he decided not to allow him his disc this week, I guess. Chromatic Tome and Final Transmutation. For this army, Blue Horrors and the Sour Guts as well. Nurglings plus more, a whole bunch of Fiends. Pretty much practically the same build as last time, except, let's see, I think there's a bit of a difference here. I think, yeah, no Bloodletters. No Bloodletters, so instead we're going to have a whole bunch of Blushhounds. Hey, Pride. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm gonna let the players know I'm gonna dip out so they can they said they're experiencing a bit of lag. So I guess me and Shimbambu just don't work together. So let those guys play it out, see how it goes. I'll be rooting for the Wood Elves there. A little bit of bias. I do like Durthu a bit. So. But we'll go over and watch the laggy game from earlier against Norska. Have lag against Mabu as well. Oh, that's unfortunate. I wonder why. Yeah, nothing worse than having to deal with lag in Total War, honestly. I cannot believe they never gave us dedicated servers. I mean, I can believe it because it's obviously multiplayer is the smallest part of the community. It's just very unfortunate. Just like how much it hampers or hinders the game. I can go over the builds again real quick if need be, just so people who missed out can see it. But basically, we have a Herald of Zinch. Zinch decided to take away his disc for this week, and will be granting it to him another day, or once he behaves. But he has given him the ability to fly with no wings. So the Lords of Change are a bit jealous, to say the least. 4 Bloodletters, some Nurglings, Fiends on both flanks, along with one more in the back line. We also have the Sour Guts and some Chaos Furies up in the sky. Triple Horse Masters. You never see Horse Masters. You usually just see, what are they called? I forgot. But the other skirmishing unit for the Norskin side. Horse Masters have a bit more damage in their javelins, but they're more expensive. Horse Masters pretty much used to be the actual meta before they got like I think it was a cost increase or something like that. Yeah, I think they got a cost increase because all you saw was Horse Masters before. But now it's mostly the other variant, but some people, like this Norskin player, has decided to bring them. Wolfric the Wanderer is on his Mammoth. We have Marauders, and Marauder Champions. Double Marauder Champion with the Broods of the Hound, Marauder Berserker ROR, which is I thought was a strange pick. They have like no missile resistance, no fire resistance, anything, so they can just be shot down by blues and pinks if the opponent does bring them. And then, but they do have spell resistance of 35% from them being Corn, blessed by Corn, which they got recently, which is pretty nice. I'm glad they actually have this now. Pretty fantastic. They are unbreakable. They do have bonus for infantry, and can potentially be Bloodletter. Just comparing their stats, as you can see, they have much more melee attack thanks to that frenzy, and more health. So I'd expect them to beat a Bloodletter, but I don't know if they could beat more than one. Yeah, we got Double Mammoth, very classical Warhammer 2 meta. One being the Soul Crusher that does have that enrage 20%, 40% ward save. But right off the bat, Wolfric is getting in there, and I didn't go over the magic. We got a Spellcaster, Female Balefiend with Burning Head and Flaming Sword of Ruin. But yeah, Wolfric running in there, wrecking on some poor little popcorn Nurglings. Same with the Soul Crusher. Soul Crusher getting into the Bloodletters. Yeah, Mammoths are pretty bad. So if we obviously know that the Norskin player, we know the outcome already, but I expect the Mammoths to be a hindrance here. We'll see though. Fiends chasing down the Marauder Horse Masters, and if they lose these, that could be a pretty big loss there, because that'll mean all the mobility for the Norskin side is gone. We do have a nice boat going through the Bloodletters, both of them who are stacked up right now on the Marauder Champions. Marauder Champions, I don't know why you would ever bring them, but they were brought and are absolutely massacred by the Bloodletters. Though they do have a nice Flaming Sword of Ruin going on them. I kind of like that tech because it gives them magical attacks, which means that they can do a bit of damage back into the Bloodletters. A nice final transmutation hitting all three of these units: the Familiar Balefiend, the Marauder Champions, and the Broods of the Hound. That's a lot of value there getting from that final transmutation. Let's look at that real quick. 741 already from that initial cast, which is pretty nice. Yeah, Broods of the Hound. What are they at right now? 23 kills. Getting that Spheric Musk, reducing their melee defense, and Poison, reducing their weapon strength. So, you know, they're kind of being dragged down a bit. Wolfric and the Mammoths are kind of just, you know, causing a bit of havoc. Wolfric is pretty healthy at 12,000 HP still. Same with the Soul Crusher. Soul Crusher is still healthy as well. Just taking forever to finish off these freaking Sour Guts. I don't know how they haven't gone into like crumbling status yet. But now that they finally are, maybe they're still wavering down to -1. There we go. Finally, they're now into demonic instability, and they should be gone soon. Fiends getting a little rear charge here on the Marauder Champions, trying to grind those guys down. Helping out the Nurglings. Familiar Balefiend not really doing much at the moment. Has he got any spellcasts off? I think just besides the sword. I haven't seen a single burning head yet. Harold is just throwing his little fireballs at the Wolfric. Or actually at the Soul Crusher, excuse me. Wolfric getting into the Bloodletters. And kind of taking a bit of damage from those guys. Which you don't think a Mammoth would care too much about Bloodletters, but nonetheless, Furies are continuing to chase after the Horse Masters, and Horse Masters are continuing to skirmish well, and slowly grinding down those Furies. But mobility game is looking a lot stronger for the Demons of Chaos, as they still have relatively healthy Fiends. As I expected, the Brutes of the Hound are dying here, but they did go down with at least 600 value. They still have 23 models, don't get me wrong. They have potential to do some damage in return, but they are being slowly grinded down by even Nurglings. Nurglings. What's their value looking at? Just fighting the Brutes of the Hound. 261 on the Brutes of the Hound on them. Yeah, another massive final transmutation, and these final transmutations are so incredibly punishing for the Norskin player. I mean, that might end up killing off the Femur Belfiend down to 1,000 HP. And I don't think it's gonna kill them off, but that's gonna put them in a pretty bad spot. Probably route at this moment that they even get close to a fiend. Yeah, look at, you can see they're already right off the bat that they're wavering. Once the fiends come on over, honestly, just let the Chaos Furies continue chasing them and bring the fiends over to help out with the mammoth. The mammoth, Wolfric is chasing off Bloodletters. Point has been captured by Demons of Chaos, up to 200 points already. For some reason, the Norskin player is just kind of letting the Demons of Chaos player play into the whole mobility game. At this point, you just want to capture the point and kind of just hold it, as you have no mobility really left aside from the Horsemasters. One being shut down already, both of them being shut down actually, and now the third one. So the Demons of Chaos player really has the pick and choose here, being able to pick their attacks, their engagement. Yeah, at least the replays aren't affected by lag. Yeah, it's just like some weird thing with, I guess, Chimbabu's internet doesn't like us. But yeah, Femur Belfiend is going to be shut out. The Brutes of the Hound are going to be killed here soon. Only have 5 models left, and they're probably done. Is that one? Just one model left? No, they have 5 still. I think it's going to speed things up a little bit here as the Demons of Chaos player starts to recoup their army. To be fair, the Soul Crusher and Wolfric have quite a bit of HP left. I don't know what they're going to do about it besides the Fiends, I suppose. They just got to make sure to keep them together, not separate them. And yeah, now they're going to start taking the points again. And even if they didn't, even if they were together, they don't have the capture weight to take point 1. All their infantry is gone, and it's just going to go to Demons of Chaos player. They can just dictate the engagements, and yeah, the Soul Crusher is just taking so much damage from those fiends, and Norska is never going to be able to capture that point. Yeah, as you can see, they're going to win out on tickets. So another win on tickets, most likely, unless an army loss kicks in, but I don't think it is. I think the tickets are going to be the reason that the Norskin player loses here. Yep. Yeah, so nice. Another win on tickets. I love that. That's the second time I've seen it so far in total. Beautiful. If it was land battle, I'd be struggling to think what would the Demons of Chaos player have to deal with those 2 mammoths. But luckily, this is capture point. So the Norskin player unfortunately did not have any infantry or capture weight aside from the 2 mammoths to capture that point. I mean, to be fair, their builders are pretty expensive. You spent the money on the Brutes of the Hound, which are fairly expensive themselves. Same with the Marauder Champions, who again, I do not like in this matchup at all. They just get massacred by Bloodletters if your opponent brings them, which most likely they will. And yeah, these 3 are a big cost investment. The Horsemasters are already costly as it is, but even then, they're not the biggest issue here. The big issue are these 3 units. Obviously, you got to count Wolfric and the Soul Crusher there, but they stood by fine. They were the only 2 units left. And to be fair, that was smartly played by the Demons of Chaos player, most likely. That was just the Demons of Chaos player ignoring them and focusing on the rest of the parts of the army, which the Norskin player kind of let get focused down. Once the Demons of Chaos player is able to pick off pieces of your army and leaving you surrounded with just your 2 like big SEs, then you're kind of screwed. Yeah, well played to both players. Wonderful. Okay, so the finals are now done. We'll cast that real quick, Shiryuki up against Shimbambu. But all right, let's see. First of all, let me shut this down real quick. Pause that real quick and okay. So close that poll there. Okay, so as I stated earlier, Eternal Guard, Dryads. We have some Water Hunters of Kurnus, the Water Rider ROR. We have some Glade Riders as well. Just trying to really play the mobility game here for the Wood Elf side. We also have Durthu and the Firebrock Elders, who do provide that 20% fire resistance to any nearby allies, which is pretty nice. So giving Durthu an extra bit of fire resistance. Actually, does he have any? No, he doesn't have any at all. So even that fire resistance, which obviously helps out with the fact that he has 25% from him being a tree man. It's pretty nice. They also have magical attacks with Durthu, who does have the that ancient protector. Pretty nice. But yeah, Sword of Death and Flock of Doom is typically what you're gonna see, and Wildheart. We also have Glade Guard with Hagbane tips. They do have poison plus magical missiles, so pretty good in this matchup. For the Demons of Chaos side, we do have once again a Herald of Zinch without his disc, and the Chromatic Tome, and trying to punish as mutations. So pretty much a lot of it is going to be the same build, minus the Bloodletters. The Bloodletters got cut and more Fiends, and or same amount of Fiends and more Flesh Hounds. I think 4 in total Flesh Hounds. 1, 2, 3. I'm missing one. No, I guess that is. Yeah, 3. Yeah, a whole bunch of Furies and Fiends, plus Blue Horrors and some Nurglings. Alright, let's get into it. So, see, already off the bat, the Demons of Chaos players trying to get an encirclement and surround the Wood Elf player. Try to get into the box and break through it. And the Wood Elf player just kind of knows that they have more of the infantry game, so, and the Demons of Chaos player has more of the mobility, so they're just going to take the point right away and play the waiting game a bit. Flesh Hounds charging into Eternal Guard, though Eternal Guard do have anti-large and charge defense, so Flesh Hounds are going to take more damage than it's worth. Flesh Hounds break into the back line and get on top of the Glade Guard. On this backhand flank, we have the Glade Riders being shut down by both the Chaos Furies, but Wild Hunters do join in to help out with that fight. We'll send those Chaos Furies elsewhere, like over here to get on top of the Glade Guard, and just have the Fiends run around and encircle the Wild Hunters of Kurnus, but it's fine. What can you do? With a big old Sword of Death here, hitting all 4 of these units, really. Yeah, the double Flesh Hound plus the Fiends plus the Chaos Furies did a pretty nice catch there. Pretty good value. Dryads being shot to death by the pinks and blues of the Demons of Chaos, but blues don't have much ammunition anyway, so they'll run out eventually. The Chaos Furies pushing through, and some of them, they're having the fortunate issue where some of their models are stuck in combat still, which has caught me multiple times, which is very aggravating. And they're trying to send the Chaos Furies elsewhere, but the issue is that their models are stuck here, so they're constantly being brought back and hit, which is very aggravating. I know exactly what that experience is like. Yeah, a big final transmutation hitting all 3 of these units, including the Firebrock Elders, plus the Glade Guard and the Dryads. It was hitting the Eternal Guard for a little bit, but the Eternal Guard did get pulled out eventually. These Chaos Furies do begin to disintegrate. I do have the The Sour Guts continuing to shoot him, but then now under fire from the Glade Guard, who do again have those magical missiles, so they're going to be doing a lot of damage to those Sour Guts. Blue Horrors winning out against that fight against the Dryads. The other blues are losing out. But yeah, Dryads are pushing into the back line now. Infantry wise, there's a lot more for the Wood Elves side at the moment, though the mobility game for the Wood Elves has been mostly shut down. I don't think they have anything else left, actually. Yeah, I don't think they have any mobility at all. The Water Hunters have been shut down. But the point is in the Wood Elves' favor at the moment, and they're racking up tickets. Dryads slowly beating out those Blue Horrors. Tower Guts actually end up beating those Dryads, which is pretty funny. But the Glade Guard will finish them off eventually. And or is that a miscast from the Herald of Tzeentch there? Those Blue Horrors beginning to disintegrate. We don't have much left for the Demons of Chaos. We have 3 Fiends, which obviously can do good work, but the issue is that that's not going to be enough against the massive amount of spears we have here. I mean, we do have we have 2 Flesh Hounds at the moment. If we can get a nice another Overcasted Final Transmutation off, then there could be maybe a way, but what are you going to do against Durthu and the Firebark Elders? I just don't think it's possible. But the little Herald is being shot by the Hagbane Tips. It's constantly whittled down. A nice Flock of Doom hitting the Fiends and Flesh Hounds. Flesh Hounds going into Crumbling, Disintegration, and Flesh Hounds and the Fiends push in and get on top of the Glade Guard Hagbane Tips. The Fiends running away as they get hit by the Sword of Death, trying to get away from the other Fiends, just to take the damage themselves instead of getting that damage on the other one as well. And these Dryads do get shut down eventually, and the Fiends do pull out, or are trying to, but a lot of their models are stuck into this engagement with the Firebark Elders, which is unfortunate. A lot of those Fiends are going to end up dying because of that. Right now they are at 16 models, however, but they do lose a model right there from Durthu. And Demons of Chaos player is playing this well, trying to pick apart what small pieces they can just to kind of dictate their engagements and just pick off small bits here and there. But the issue is that, again, it's just not probably going to be enough. There's just way too many spears to handle, and Durthu is going to be an absolute menace. But a really big, nice final transmutation there. Overcasted going to be hitting all 4 of these units, including Durthu. Surprised they're not moving their units out a little bit, but it's fine. I think the Wood Elf player knows that even if they take this final transmutation, it's not that big of a deal. I think they know that they have this, as you can tell from the balance of power as well. But yeah, Fiends try to finish off the Glade Guard. Again, they're just picking off little bits here and there. They finish off these Dryads most likely. Eternal Guard need to stay in the box, really, because this is what the Demons of Chaos player wants, is just to pick apart units and drag them out of the box. Yeah, as the Eternal Guard get run over, just stay together, keep the guard mode on, and keep them all here. Yeah, eventually I think Shiryuki will end up winning on points. We have a little under 2 minutes left. 100 points away. Yeah, the Demons of Chaos player does end up bowing out, as they know that they're really not going to break the box and get in. And that does end up going to Shiryuki. Well played to both players. Fiends did incredibly well. I mean, no surprise there. They are fantastic. 1086, 1295, and 945. Pretty much carrying the Demons of Chaos on their back. Everything else did fine. Herald 1137, not too shabby. I think I saw like 2 or 3 final transmutations. 2186 on Durthu. Everything else did fine. 1354 on these Glade Guard. The initial engagement with the Wild Hunters was okay. I mean, obviously it's a solid choice to go after them, trying to get rid of the mobility game for the Wood Elves. But the issue is that once you get rid of their mobility game, the box was left, and I don't know how they didn't really have much to break the box. The end felt so dirty. I just stood there and waited on the timer. I mean, that's what the capture point is there for. It's just so you don't, like you're not kited to the ends of the earth. I mean, you're playing the objective. That's how it is. If people want to, obviously, I'm not talking bad about Chimbabu's build here. It's just like if people want to play a more like rely a bit more on like their kitey mobility, then they're gonna have to factor in that the cap point is a thing in this on this mode, so they have to build correctly for it. But I understand it's not as like climactic as you'd want the end of the game to be. So don't worry, I understand. But if it was land battle, I mean, again, the Fiends kind of would just continue picking apart your entire box while you kept moving towards them. But congrats on the win, Yuki. Well played. We have a whole bunch of games to go over, so let's check those out real quick. Let's go over one of Pride's games, some more Wood Elves. Orion up against the Chaos Dwarves. Pretty cool matchup. Yeah, Chimabu says DOC is a little stronger now. But yeah, they're very strong now thanks to the leadership changes that they got recently. Yeah, it just feels weird. I understand completely. It's just like, again, as I said, it's a pretty anticlimactic for a final when you're playing a box like that. I completely understand. But yeah, when you're up against a build like that, it's just, and you're on Conquest, you kind of know a style of play, and you just gotta go with it. Yeah, I mean, it's a win nonetheless. Congratulations, you did good. You did good work. Just make sure not to let your box get broken. We got Plug of Isha for Orion. Gonna have that word save and heal once he goes to a certain HP threshold. We also have Hounds of Orion and Hawk's Talon. For the rest of the army, Internal Guards with shields. We also have Glade Guard with Starfire shafts. Going for that AP to get through the Chaos Dwarf armor and magical attacks as well in case there's any physical resistance. Firebark. I don't know if Chaos Dwarves actually have any physical resistance on any of their. I know they have some mystical resistance, but I don't know about physical resist. But nonetheless, Firebark Elders as well. Going to bring those guys in too. We have a Spell Singer of Life with Earthblood and Awakening of the Wood plus Life Bloom. A freaking Forest Dragon. We're going to see a Forest Dragon once again, just like in the last stream. Glad to see it, or like the last new player stream. Never would see these guys otherwise, and honestly, I'm glad for it. I love the freaking Forest Dragons. One of the coolest like dragons in the entire game, honestly, just like design-wise. We also have some Wild Riders vanguarded in the back. For the Dowie player, for the Chaos Dowie player, we have a Sorcerer Prophet on a Beltaurus, no surprise there, with Burning Wrath and Hellhammer. Trying to go for that sneaky little Hellhammer there. Well, let's see if they can get it off. Plus Chalice of Blood and Darkness for that heal, and Infernal Engineer. They also brought the Mortis Engine, which is interesting. The Mortis Engine is not good at all, but it's something. They're also trying to go for a little bit of box play with the double Fireglaive and Blunderbuss. I'm not sure about this build at all, especially with the Chaos Dwarf Warriors of Great Weapons. I think this is definitely a mistake against the Wood Elves, but I understand it, I suppose. Infernal Ironsworn as well, which is interesting. Yeah, which is a Chaos Dwarf Warriors. Definitely not sure about this build at all. Nice breath attack coming in here. Oh, just doing some brutal work there on those Chaos Dwarf Warriors plus the Fire Glaives. A Hounds of Orion apps. Oh my, that is so dirty. That is so dirty. Oh, I fell for the Chaos Dwarf player there. Jesus, man, that is heinous. That's the best Hounds of Orion I've ever actually seen. Oh no, and now we have the arrows too coming in. Not as extravagant as the Hounds, but still. But in return, a freaking Hellhammer going ripping through the Glade Guard. Jeez. I mean, what is happening in this game? And the Chaos Dwarf player said, I can play it that way too. Orion is taking it dirty. Oh my god, what is... Orion, what are you doing? What is happening? Get out of there. What the hell? Orion is so overconfident. He just walked into 2 units of shotguns and just took him point blank. Lost like over 3/3 of his freaking HP. Another beautiful break. Oh my god, this box is just being picked apart beautifully. Huge breath attack on those fire glaives and hitting the great weapons too. This is so heinous. This is not okay. This is not kosher. I can't believe we saw a freaking Hellhammer actually land too. That's wonderful. A Burning Wrath going down on the Firebreak Elders, but that's a very weird choice. Obviously they have fire resistance and it's just not going to do much to them on Search Infantry. Wild Riders getting into the back line. Not even a back line, honestly. Just getting on top of the Chaos Dwarf Warriors, the great weapons. Doing some solid work into them. Sorcerer Prophet is just being under fire this entire time. And a very big mistake there by the Chaos Dwarf player, just letting their Sorcerer Prophet just being shot. Firebark Elders are fighting with the Full Centaur Renderers with great weapons. I didn't even notice those guys were in. But yeah, those guys got brought and will actually beat. What was I about to say there? They're beating the Firebark Elders in combat. No surprise, that's exactly what their job wants to be. The Hounds didn't do as good this time, but nonetheless, these Firebark Elders are actually going to beat the Full Centaur Renderers thanks to the support of the Eternal Guard. You have another arrows, I think, yeah, brought it in from Orion there and doing much better this time around compared to the Hounds. Also, when Awakening in the Woods hitting those Chaos Dwarf Warriors and Fire Glaives turning around and getting some point blank volleys into the Wild Riders, but it's at a bit of an awkward angle, so they're only hitting like a part of the formation, as opposed to if they were like around and shot, we're able to shoot into the full back of it. But yeah, the point goes to the Widows. The Glade Guard continues to fire in. Where's the Sorcerer Prophet at the moment? Just kind of hanging back. Orion wants to try to get off another one of those Hellhammers if possible. Hellhammer here could be pretty gnarly, or on the Glade Guard again if the Wood Elf player isn't paying attention this time. It's a very weird blob fight from both players. I would not expect a blob fight between the Chaos Dwarves and Wood Elves. Yeah, the Chaos Dwarf player really needs to pay attention with their Lord because he's being shot the entire game for free. I mean, I guarantee their value is pretty insane so far. I mean, yeah, 685, 849 here, and they've just been shooting at the Lord the entire time. It's pretty nuts. Breath attack coming in here from the Sorcerer Prophet, and the Sorcerer Prophet does have a bit of physical resistance, missile resistance, right? 25%, yeah. Breath attack coming in there, and it kind of just did more friendly fire to his own units than anything else. That beautiful, I was going to say beautiful Hounds, but then it starts ripping through his own Eternal Guard, and yeah, those Eternal Guards just got absolutely massacred by the Hounds. Those Hounds. Sorcerer Prophet routed off. Another arrow coming in here, going to rip through those blunderbusses. And yeah, those blunderbusses are... that was actually pretty anticlimactic. What the hell is that? All those arrows just like missed. I suppose they probably hit the Fire Glaives too, but yeah, it's going to go to the Wood Elves. Hellhammer ripping through at the very last moment. Didn't even get to see the damage, but it did hit some Wood Elves, which was pretty nice. But yeah, definitely a well-deserved win there for sure. Congratulations, you've been grinding out these new player tournaments, and yeah, you deserve a tournament win. Yeah, it was a pretty cinematic finish, right? Fried, oh my god, that must have felt so freaking satisfying. Just picking apart that Chaos Warp box with those breath attacks and the hounds. Oh my god, those hounds, initial hounds are so good. If I was here, Pride, and I had lost that, I would have been perfectly fine with it just because of how beautiful those hounds were. Again, that was probably the best use of hounds I've seen. Most of the time, they just kind of get dodged or just go in the random direction and not actually do anything. Yeah, you had the pretty much perfect build for this. 2353 on Orion. Everything else, yeah, Orion did beautiful. Probably didn't pay for himself because Orion's like stupidly expensive for some reason. 1143 on the Forest Dragon. Everything else did fine. The Social Profit, yeah, did okay. Just did not get as much value as they could have, considering they were just under fire that entire game, and needed to get that other Hellhammer off a lot sooner. 872, 1725 on the Iron Sword. That's incredible still. Despite everything, they still managed to pick up almost 1800 in value. The Bull Centaur Render is obviously picking up great value and fighting the Treeman as well. I love the Forest Dragon too much to not use it. Well, thank you for using it. I think it's such a cool unit. I really like the Forest Dragon. If I would like to probably like raise the Forest Dragons, the dragons in total, I'd probably put the Forest Dragon up top, if not like battling it out with a Black Dragon. The rest of them don't matter to me as much. Carmine Dragon, maybe. But you can't even get those separate from the actual mounts, so. As Gep said in Discord, I won for anime. For all the anime fans out there, you won it for them all. You no one uses them and new players. Funny Pride, I didn't bring a single dragon on tournament. Okay, sure, you can, now that you've gotten a win, now that you've gotten a tournament win for all the anime fans out there, you need to bring a dragon next time. Now you can relax, bring the fun units, bring the dragon. Thanks. Or I suppose you could try winning it with the other elves, but the other elves are stinky. Where's Nardu at? Nardu said they played incredibly bad this tournament, but I got them to play Lizardmen, and that's what matters. Now, what do we want to see first? Let's see. So Nardu, yikes, that looks pretty bad. They had to face Hasty twice, Nurgle twice, unfortunately for them, and then up against Shimbambu as well. I feel for them. I probably should. I bring dragons whenever I play HE and D. I just wanted to do the HE form, and the dragon is pretty expensive. Yeah, the dragon is expensive, honestly, for what you get. I completely understand that. I'd rather like put that cost into my ancient treeman lord, but or treeman for what do they call it? What are the base ones are called? I can't remember. But yeah, typically your funds are kind of occupied elsewhere in your range components and whatnot. Your cav. But I did request either Nakai, Krokgar, or Golrock in any of the games, so we do get Nakai this game, and boy, Nakai is a big boy. He's a big happy boy, wondering and looking for that win. I told Nardu that Nakai, if he brought Nakai, that he'd be wondering his way over to a win. So if this isn't a win, then I'm a liar. Miasma of Despair and Primal Roar does put your units into Rampage, but it gives them pretty insane melee attack buff plus 20% Fizz Res, which obviously not as great against Nurgle unless they bring the more like humanoid units like Pestigors. So should be fine. But for the rest of the army, we do have a Skink Priest of Beasts with Flock of Doom, Focus Instincts, and his little drop rock ability. For the rest of the army, Skink Cohorts will be making up the front line. We also have a whole bunch of Skink Skirmishers and some Salamander Hunting Packs, 2 of them in total. We also have 2... okay, Nardu, what's going on here? You bring in the Fire Leech Bolos? These guys suck. They're cute. I mean, look at them riding their cute little pterodons. I love them, but they're bad. They're not good. Not good. I feel for all my other fellow Lizardman players here, but the Fire Leech Bolos and just Pterodon Riders in general suck. But we have some Kero Cold Ones on both flanks as well. A Rev Crystal to heal up Nakai, of course. Also, it's triple Salamander Hunting Packs. I didn't notice that part. Yeah, triple was a pretty hefty investment. We'll see if it pays off. Festus will be leading Nurgle. He does have his Pestilent Potions, his Weapon Strength debuff and Weapon Attack debuff, Granted Visitations, and Stream of Corruption. We also have an Exalted Hero. He's going to be on his little Rot Beast. Yes, he is. Does have that Heroic Killing Blow as well. For the rest of the army, a whole bunch of Pestigors, and makes sense. They will beat out any source if source are brought. And luckily no source will be sacrificed here. At least I don't think they will. Yes, I don't see any. So, no source will be sacrificed here. Instead, the poor skinks will be. Chaos Furies up in the sky, 3 of them in total. For the actual caster, we do have a... Oh, right, it's Festus. What am I talking about? We have Bile Trolls as well. Also, it's double Exalted Hero. Both with her Heroic Killing Blow. Yeah, a single unit of Bile Trolls in the center as well. Oh, hold on. I was wondering, like, why are the Bile Trolls here in the center? That's why. It's because there's freaking Chosen of Nurgle with great weapons in the middle. Okay, so let's see how those guys do. Theoretically, they should do fantastic, right? Salamander Hunter Pack getting some nice volleys into those Pestigors. Obviously not the most opportune targets, but Feral Cold Ones have been kind of left idly by. Poor, unfortunately, Nardu has dropped their micro a bit, but that's okay. It so happens. These Cold Ones, however, have decided to move and are going to be able to go around and get a flank, hopefully. The Salamander Hunting Packs are probably focused on the Bile Trolls right now, and or on something like the Chaos Furies. Chaos Furies do catch onto the Fire Leech Boulders. Unfortunately for the Fire Leech Boulders, they have been left inactive and aren't shooting at the moment, and they are getting absolutely torn apart by those Chaos Furies. Skinks get shut down rather quickly by the Pestigors, no surprise there. The Skink Skirmishers are kind of blocking the Salamander Hunting Packs, unfortunately. The Salamanders continue shooting into the backs of the Pestigors, and they start to get shut down by the Exalted Hero, and that's when 3 becomes more of a hindrance than 2 or 1, because as you can see, there's too many to protect, and your Salamanders are falling down very, very quickly. Nakai is trying to chase out Festus here, but this is a big task for him. He has to fight Festus, who isn't a good combatant, but he is up against Chosen, Bile Trolls, and there's a whole lot of stuff here. Primal Roar is popped, however, giving him 100 melee attack, so he's pretty beefed up. Same with this, even the Skink Priest has 62 melee attack. Pestigor's coming over as well to help out the fight. These Bile Trolls are getting some healing from Festus at the moment, but might be a bit much for them to have to deal with. Fighting Nakai the Wanderer. Nakai is trying to goon out good old Festus here with the help of the Bastiladon. A nice Flock of Doom hitting all of these targets. It's a very high value Flock of Doom. Skin cohorts will probably come back, and same with the Settlement and Enter packs. They need to turn around and start shooting at the Chaos Furies and Pestigores. As you can see, balance of power already looking pretty bad for the Lizardman side here. Skink Priest is trying to help out with the fight against Pestigores, but the Pestigores will eventually win that no matter what. The Salamanders get brought into melee again as well, and they're taking so much damage very quickly. They're so squishy in melee, it hurts. They Skinks are capturing the point. I don't know if the Nurgle player notices, but I'm sure they do, or they just don't care. Imagine a nice banishment here. Oh man, from a Slan, just absolutely ripping through all these units. That'd be beautiful. But unfortunately, I forced poor Nardu to bring Big O Nakai, and he's no Slan, that's for sure. Yeah, he's trying to force path him towards Festus, and he's just being brought down by the Bile Trolls and the massive amount of Pestigores. Not only that, even if he didn't have to deal with the Chosen and all that, he still had to deal with the two double exalted hero, and that's just punishing for them. Gonna look for a bit, working on some stuff. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for hanging out, Pride. Right, yeah. Ancient treatment for the Lord and just treatment for the... Yeah, okay. Yeah, my brain just wasn't working. I thought it was just regular treatment for the monstrous infantry unit. GG. Yeah. AC, that build was dirty, and I feel for Naruto there. You just had to bring their own Nurgle against them, didn't you? What? But most importantly, why'd you have to do those poor Fire Leech bowls like that? They got no value at all. Yeah, the unholy amounts of AP. Like, what are we supposed to do as the Lisbon player to stop that? I guess the Pestigores do have are pretty squishy, so. Let me see. Okay. So we have Brett versus Dwarves. Cast Dwarves. Wood Elves into High Elves. Coast into Nurgle. I'm not sure if I want to cast that one. And a Coast, excuse me. Counts. Reading comprehension, am I right? Lizardman into Empire with double engineer. That's spicy. Triple freaking war wagons. My god, that's dirty. How are you gonna do the Lizardman like that? And why? Let's see. We could do Vampire Pirates against... Yeah, we do Vampire Pirates against Warren. But I'm pretty sure Pestigore is like uptrade into anything Saurus, so they beat Temple. They probably don't beat Temple Guard, but they trade pretty well into them. Alright, so we have Vampire Coast, Fabrosi rocking them again once again this week. With a Vampire Fleet Admiral of Pistol with Vangeist Revenge and Fog of the Damned, plus that Black Parapet for that power recharge and reserves. Have a whole bunch of deckhand mobs and gunnery mobs, plus handgunners as well. 4 of them, that's quite a bit. plus a single unit of depth guards with polearms. I seem to believe that Fabulosi loves the depth guard with polearms, but they didn't bring the RR variant this time, so luckily it's not that much of an investment. We also have the Riding Prometheans, just the 2 of them. I think it's just the 2 of them. We also have 4 animated Hulks, and that is it. A bit more of a mobile army, no artillery piece, anything like that against the Khorne faction. Against Khorne, as Khorne, we have Valkia with Demon Shield and Spear of Sleipnir. For the actual army, Marauders, a whole bunch of Marauders, Chaos Warriors with dual weapons, and Minos with great weapons to help deal with any crabs. Karanak is also here. They are to silence any casters and just be a general annoyance. He has his Prey of the Blood God for his net and his brass collar. There's also have a whole bunch of Chaos Furies vanguarded in the back. I'm going to speed things up a little bit here as we start getting over to the point. We're going to start engaging here as the animated Hulks get in there and start fighting amongst them. Eventually they should beat out those Marauders. Curse of the Fog of the Damned casted and putting those Marauders melee stats. Actually, it's only hitting one of them, unfortunately. That's pretty sad, but it does bring them down into 10 melee attack with lower leadership, -8. Chaos Furies are jumping in. These hand cannons probably need to move back a little bit and turn around and start shooting at the Chaos Furies, but I think they got to handle the amount of handgunners that they have, so it's fine. Valkia jumping in there on the crabs, who do have to deal with Valkyria's Demon Shield, making her invulnerable to any damage. We have a whole nice blob here. Would be great for a Vangeist Revenge. Come on, baby, bring me a Vangeist Revenge. But I'm guessing the Winds of Magic is not looking great right now after the Fog of Damned was cast. Chaos Warriors with dual weapons are in, but they do have to fight crabs at the moment, so not looking to be great for them. Animated Hulks and Deckhand Mobs grinding it out with these Marauders. We have more Chaos Furies summoned in. Hand cannons get a nice volley into them, but Chaos Furies will absolutely rip them apart in actual melee. The handgunners do need to turn around though and start shooting, helping out their fellow Chaos Furies. Need to set it up like that and begin shooting it into the side. Same with the handgunners as well, because those hand cannons you don't really want to be giving them free value like that. Minos of Khorne do get onto the Riding Prometheans, but the Death Guard with polearms are here and will slowly grind out the fight there with them. Slowly pulling them down as one gets punted away. That guy like jumped up and tried stabbing with the halberd. I don't know what the hell he was doing, but he got flicked away like he was an ant. Yeah, unfortunately Micro is sleeping a little bit. But I understand they're focusing on trying to focus on more important pieces, but your handgunners, your hand cannons are very, very important in a way. Another Fog of the Damned cast, which it's interesting. Yeah, you know, you're reducing the leadership on those Chaos Warriors, so bringing them down to -1 and possibly routing them off. So that, you know, that helps. A nice Spear of Sleipnir going through those zombie pirate gunnery mobs and doing some solid work. Yeah, routes them off, and now only left the Marauders, who will eventually route off as well. The Vampire Fleet Admiral is being cornered and gooned out by Karanak and Valkia, which probably is going to need some help here from the crabs, and the crabs are being brought over. Just really expecting the Vangeist Revenge. Come on, bring it to me, baby. We do have the deckhand mobs, or rather the handgunners, being shut down completely by that Sword of Khorne. A nice Sword of Khorne finishing them off. Karanak getting some solid work into the Vampire Fleet Admiral fight. Vampire Fleet Admiral might be finished off here, which is, oh no, could be turn things around, as they are in the lead here in terms of the balance of power. But the issue is that, yeah, the Vampire Fleet Admiral is very, very important for this late game to keep that leadership up and stable for the rest of the army, but she's just being gooned out completely. She really needs to be moved back Let the crabs screen out those two. It's just that's the unfortunate part about bringing the deep lore, is that you can't get any heals out on the Vampire Fleet Admiral, which are desperately needed. Also, she's being silenced by the Brass Collar. That's another reason to move her out of this AoE. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, like I understand that the rest of the focus. I understand that the other parts of the battlefield are a bit more focused right now. Like the Minos are a big issue. So. But yeah, that death guard just got like punted away. That was pretty hilarious. But yeah, a solid win there by Fabriosi, and well played to both players. Nice effort by Anarian. If they managed to catch out that Empire Fleet Admiral, may have had a chance, but I don't know. I'm not even then. That's touchy because the Minos got shut down and Aranak was taking quite a bit of damage. So. No, I missed a Vargeist. No, don't tell me that. I was looking for it. I was waiting. No. Okay, do we want to go back and watch it? I think so. 12:33. I was holding my breath for it, man. Of course, while I was looking at the depth card getting punted, of course that happens. 433, 160, 1379. 1176. The crabs did some wonderful work there. The pole arms did great. I mean, hey, third time's a charm. I see Fabriosi bring the depth card pole arms, and they actually put in some solid work. Nice. 1206 here on Valkia. 1144. Minos unfortunately got butchered by the massive amount of ranged and by the pole arms. Everything else, I do like the Curse of the Damned. It's forcing those Chaos Warriors to run away a lot sooner than need be, and obviously not do as much damage because the melee attack debuff. But solid match all around. I think I have to check it out real quick. See where I missed the Vangeist. If I can actually find it. I'm blind. Here we go. Just gonna watch it again really quick to see the Vangeist. I obviously have to give the Vangeist the light of day, right? I mean, if there's gonna be a Vangeist in one of these games that I'm casting and I miss it, that's just like that's not okay.
Pistols loaded.
Yeah, solid work. Well, really good job keeping your handgunners online for a majority of the game. You're making me want to play Vampire Coast. Honestly. What was that? What did I just see? Weird little casting, little spear slap near. Here we go. Is this it? Yeah, baby. Yeah. Hell yes. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that damage. Oh, baby. That's dirty. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, worth it. Beautiful. Let me see what that cast got in value. 848 in that initial cast right there. Obviously, she's been shooting her little pistol shots, so that's not 100% accurate, but still. That's dirty. That's beautiful. I love seeing some Vangeist. Absolutely beautiful. Vampire. Okay, the Queen Bess. Yes. Yes. We gotta watch that. Twerkman. I think I just saw Twerkman in the 2v2 tournament that I casted yesterday. I think it was Twerkman with Dustman, something like that. What is this formation? And with the like dreaded like line formation that some undead players do. But yeah, we got Queen Bess. Let's see if she can actually land some shots. Cleostra Direfin on foot with Van Geist again, Fog of the Damned, Ghost of the Past, her little damn knights, Aaron Summon, and Song of Enthrallment. I like Cleostra. She's a pretty solid lord. I don't like her at all, but I do like her as a lord. For the rest of the army, Pirate Deckhand mobs, and a whole bunch of animated hulks to help fight off all that armor from the dwarves. A whole bunch of handgunners, or rather 2 handgunners this time, not a whole bunch, but some deck gunners as well. I think deck gunners are pretty trash, honestly. But if any place I'd bring them, I guess I'd bring them against the Dowie. The issue is that once the Torhammer torpedoes or any other ranged component from the Dowie get enraged, those deck gunners are just going to crumble if they get shot once or twice. But we do see the Shadeworth gunners as well, which I think are much better, like 10,000 times better, or incredibly good. They have that discouraged effect, which is pretty nice. So it should hopefully do some solid work. We also have the Salt Lord Scuttlers, the deck droppers ROR. They do have that armor sundering, which obviously is pretty nice against the Dowie, and solid AP values on their bombs. Night Terrors, Mongol ROR, just a whole bunch of RORs this game. I don't like seeing these guys, but every time I say that, they do well. So hopefully they should do well. I mean they look pretty cool. I think the Mongols are one of the coolest looking units in the entire game. So hopefully they do great. They have Frostbite as well. Can chase down any of those Tiger Dowie units trying to run away from the front line. Fellbats as well vanguarded. But for the Dowie player, who does take an awful shot there, Queen Bess already 1 for 1. Nice. That's a good start. We have Delmo Thork with Rune of Wrath and Ruin, Rune of Hearth and Home, and his rune armor, giving the flamers, which, you know, helps a little bit against Queen Bess and the deck droppers. Obviously, it's only 10%, so they still lose quite a chunk of Dowie there. Look at that. Just stack of Dowie bodies. That's heinous. Nardu would not be happy to see that. A whole bunch of Longbeards and Miners of Blasting Charges. You also see some Iron Drakes with Torment Torpedoes, because if you bring in Dowie, you have to bring these guys. They're just that freaking good, as you can see from Alfredino. Bringing in 3 of them and making it work. Regular Iron Drakes with those flaming flamethrowers. Those flamethrowers, they should do decent work against the undead. And more Longbeards and just 2 units of Slayers. Another shot from Queen Bess coming in. Oh my god, that's dirty. Yikes. That is heinous. Jesus. Oh, here we come with another one. Oh baby. That's not good. Ah. I feel for the Dowie player there. I really feel for them. Just that Dwarf Warrior immediately routed off. But we do see the Trollhammer torpedoes beginning to fire in on those animated hulks. Let a shot in on those Dwarven Warriors. They already routed off, so we gotta switch targets. Nice. Yeah, the one unit I would bring against the Dowie here as the Vampire Coast is the Shadeworth Gunners, because shooting at Gyrocopters, that is their job there, and they're going to do some wonderful work into the gyrocopters, which I forgot to mention. 2 brimstone guns, no steam guns for some reason, but yeah, the brimstone gun should do work, solid work, yeah, either way against the undead. Yeah, the Vampire Coast player really needs to switch targets, either to the blasting charges or to even to the Iron Drakes. Even against the Iron Drakes, they could do solid work. I've used it against the Iron Drakes, and it's done pretty good work. And again, these are one of the most expensive, one of the better centerpieces of, rather, excuse me, one of the WinCon's centerpieces for the dwarf side. A nice Wrath and Ruin hitting those undead. Iron Drakes shooting in, getting some nice volley into there. Those animated hulks and deckhand mobs absolutely roasting some undead. We have another Queen Bess shot coming in. Here we go, see if it lands. And does it land against those? Yes, it does. Beautiful. See, that's exactly what I'm saying. Look, it only kills off one model, but look at that HP damage. That is beautiful. But the Felbats do come in, drop on the Iron Drakes. You could use them against the gyrocopters or the Iron Drakes, matters not. A good place either way. Get some shots in from the Salt Lord Scuttlers on the Slayers, which is a pretty solid pick there with them. Gonna start picking off those models slowly but surely, and yeah, as you can see, those explosions, they're not doing actually too bad right now, but maybe once they get more bunched up. Oh, Vanguard's Revenge coming in here, maybe. Let's see. Oh, coming in. It's gonna hit those Iron Drakes. Nice. Absolutely tearing through those blasting charges and the Iron Drakes. Iron Drakes not so much. It still did some pretty good damage, bringing them down to a little above half HP, but nonetheless. And we got a nice brimstone volley in there on top of those bull arms, and that's why I would bring the steam guns. Probably just bring the steam guns to shoot at animated hulks, shoot at any lords from the Vampire Pirate side, or to shoot at, say, any artillery pieces like the Queen Bess. If you have the steam gun variant, that Queen Bess would have been shut down a long time ago. But extremely well played here by both players. Another volley in there, just roasting undead. We do have the Dem Knights Errants coming in. Gonna get a nice solid charge there on the miners. The miners not able to get any of their blasting charges off, which is exactly what the Vampire Coast player wants. None of the Dwarven miners were able to get any of their volleys off, really, aside from these. But if they did, it was probably just against Felbats. With another Queen Bess shot in there on those miners. And the gyrocopters continue to shoot on the edge. See, they're just not really worth it. I mean, they've just been shooting that pole arms this entire time, and it's 400 value so far. It's just like, it's fine, but the steam gun variants are like 100 times better. And I don't know, they kind of ruined the brimstone guns for me. They don't do good anymore. I mean, they weren't great in the first place, but it's just not good. Especially gun. Some people say they're really good. I think they're okay. But I mean, again, they've been shooting at this undead unit for the entire game, and like, what they got from it? Obviously, they probably should be shooting at one undead piece. They should be moving back and shooting at the handgunners if possible, or staying out of their range and shooting at like any other piece, like even the animated hulks if need be. They only have 30 armor, so it's obviously better against infantry. But if you have to stay out of the range of the handgunners, you pick what you can choose, you know. Wraith Gunners, Shade Wraith Gunners still shooting and having pretty much no contest that entire game, which is giving him plenty of time to rack up decent value. 534 so far. Now shooting at the Slayers, picking off models here and there. The Discourage effect obviously is not doing a whole lot considering they are unbreakable. Iron Drakes are back and shooting at the animated hulks, providing that burnt leadership debuff, putting them into -6, putting them into crumbling, but they do rebound back into a stable. But once they take another volley, they're back into crumble. Longbeard's pushing into the back line, but are being shot by the Shade Wraith Gunners, and doing some solid work there. Getting crossfired at the moment, unfortunately for these poor Longbeards. Just, oh man, this is so sad. those short, doughy legs slowly making their way over to the fight, but by the amount of the losses they're taking. Oh, actually, luckily, they're not being shot in the flanks anymore. I'm surprised these Deck Gunners haven't turned around and started shooting at them, because they might end up making it to the Shade Wraith Gunners, and yeah, they do. They, of course, take a bit of damage, though, but Matters not. But now, yeah, now they're being shot in the back, and that's just dirty. That's just absolutely brutal. Now we're getting the bombs thrown in as well. But the Longbeards are holding on. They're holding on for us for dear life. They are Longbeards, so they can take quite a bit of a beating. But points looking wise, we got 300 points here for the Dowie player. They've managed to hold on to the point this entire time. And if they're able to hold on to it for a little longer, they might be able to win it out under some points. But they look pretty beat up. They don't have much left on the field. They have some haggard, beat up units of Slayers and Miners. But other than that, I mean, to be fair, the Vampire Coast doesn't have much either. They have the handgunners, the deck gunners still up and about. The Shade Earth gunners have been shut down. Cleostra's still up. But other than that, they have the Queen Bess crew, I suppose. But funnily enough, the Dowie player does outnumber them in terms of infantry. I think they might win it out on points, as they could just hold on to point 1 and not move at all. Obviously, the handgunners will continue shooting in, but it matters not if they're able to hold on to the point. Handgunners shooting in. The Night Terrors get in here, start fighting and chewing on the Miners. The blasting charges didn't really get a charge, though. If they did, it was fairly limp. But now the Slayers are here. If you want to pull those guys out. I don't know what this is, a Vanguard's Revenge? Maybe a miscast? Or maybe a misplacement? But yeah, it does come in, and is it going to hit those Longbeards? Yeah, it does, like, hit the corner of those Longbeards. That's okay, not too shabby. The cost is slowly grinding out these Dowie. To be fair, she's like 55% physical res, so she's been able to fight for quite a bit. Nothing here really has magical attacks. Where's Thoric at the moment? Thoric should be over here killing Cleostra, because he's the only thing that can. I understand though, like wanting to get into the back line and stopping any handgunner from shooting. These Dowies, these Longbeards are making their way over as well. Yeah, it seems like the Dowie might end up clutching it out here. The Queen Bess didn't. She did a lot, but she didn't do enough for the crew. Or rather, the rest of the crew didn't do their job. And yeah, as she starts grinding things out here, she's doing some pretty solid work. She's terror routing some stuff. She actually terror routed all of these Dowie aside from the Slayers, which is pretty good. But they are going to start coming back here, and yeah, the Dowie player is going to take the win here as those player bows out. What is right click? Yeah, that is. I don't know what right click counts as confirm. It should be just left click. Right click should be a cancel. I thought it would. Is it not a cancel? My brain is foggy today. I can't think of it. But if you right clicked and it happened, then clearly it's not a cancel. Yeah, it's a pretty unlucky Vargeist. If that Vargeist was lined up properly, it could have done some solid work. You just like barely hit the tip of those Longbeards. That was pretty beautiful from the Queen Bess. But yeah, that's typically what the Dowie does. Just spam a whole bunch of armored infantry as you just run at your face. It's pretty sad. Yeah, because that Vanguard's Revenge could have done a lot of work. But solid priority targeting with the Queen Bess. Getting rid of those blasting charges. To be fair, the blasting charges aren't that big of an issue if you send in like your animated hulks first. But yeah, yeah, solid targeting nonetheless. Blasting charges are annoying, and shooting at the Iron Drakes and the Torhammer torpedoes is obviously a good choice too. But let's see, values here. 1019 on Cleostra. Did some some okay work, rather. Handgunners did fine. Deck gunners did solid. You know, 1000 value on this one and 788 on this one. If this one didn't get compromised by those Longbeards, if those other deck gunners and handgunners turned around properly and finished off those Longbeards, as soon as possible, then maybe things could have turned around. But even then, like, there was no more infantry left. There's nothing really to capture the point. It was probably too late, even if the Jade Earth Gunner stayed up and shooting. Animated Hulks did alright. Probably stayed in combat too long with Slayers. And with being shot by Iron Drakes, reducing their leadership. It's a pretty nasty combo, those Iron Drakes against the Animated Hulks, because that leadership penalty, plus being shot, plus having to fight, plus taking damage, they just have a whole bunch of leadership penalties, and they end up crumbling out a lot earlier than they should. 917 here on Doric, 1226, and yeah, the Lumbeards did fantastic. 636, 6, 1226, 801 on the Iron Drakes, and 798 on the Trollhammers. But well played. Yeah, it's very unfortunate about that end, guys. You know what I wouldn't mind trying out? Probably Cleostra on the Crab against... I know it's a very risky play against the Dawi, but the AP can help out a lot and give her more HP. But obviously her HP doesn't really matter. But I'd like to try it out. Give him distraction card effects. Where was that at? Let's see. EP versus Dwarves. Also probably would have kept the Felbats in reserve instead of just sending them in on the Iron Drake torpedoes. Probably hold on to them and just to kind of like screen out the gyrocopters if you're not shooting with the deck gunners. But if you are shooting with the deck gunners, just hold on to the Felbats in the meanwhile in the back line and chase off any routing units with them. Anybody here that I haven't casted any games for? If so, I will definitely prioritize any of your replays. Let's see. Checking some other stuff on Discord real quick. Okay. Just responding to some people on Discord. All right, we're good. Any from the Beastman? Was there a Beastman player? Let me check here. So you got Slanesh. No, this is not. This is way old back. What am I talking about? I completely went way far back. What the heck? And I like read numbers. Here we go. Beastman. Oh yeah, Joy Boy. Yeah, he sent me one earlier, like at the very beginning of the tournament. So watch Joy Boy, if that's what you're talking about. I learned from Hayseed and brought double Zotes versus Brett. If that sounds pretty interesting. Typically Zotes, if they're brought like one of them. I don't ever usually see two because they're quite a bit. They're very expensive and generally just not really worth it majority of the time to some Wood Elf players. Some Wood Elf players prefer to bring just a whole bunch of Glade Riders instead, or Wild Riders. But Beastman player, we got Joy Boy on the Beastman with Malagor, with Flock of Doom, and Unholy Power. For the rest of the army, a whole bunch of Ungors, Spearmen, and some Zangors included. We also have a single, just a single unit of Ungor Raiders. That's interesting. I never see that. Usually you see like 5 of them, or 4 of them rather, or 2. Like there's no in between. Centaurs, a whole bunch of Centaurs. That's a Beastman player build. We got the Centaurs of Tzeentch with some base Centaurs and Throwing Axe variant as well. We also have the Grogghoods of Wolfrun, who have poison attacks on their missiles and their melee attacks, plus Drunken Bravado, giving them that replenishment plus leadership, plus Perfect Vigor. So pretty good ability. But yeah, just a very, very wide Beastman build trying just to surround the Nurgle side because they know Nurgle is not going to have as much infantry. For the Nurgle side, we do have a Sorcerer Lord on a Rot Beast with Rancid Visitations and Stream of Corruption. On his Rot Beast, you see that very frequently for new players who don't know because it makes him a lot better of a fighter. He's really good on the Rot Beast and has solid melee stats. We also have double Exalted Hero because that triple core right there is very scary to deal with and will hound out or chase down any hero or lord units and kill them. It's a nasty goon squad. But luckily Malagor is brought, so he's pretty much never going to touch the ground most likely. Plague Bearers will be the front line. No Pestigores or anything like that this time. Some Plague Ogres with great weapons. And are the Exalted Heroes on Rot Beast too? Probably, yes. This one is, and yeah, both of them are. So that's a very expensive core there. So if they're not able to make any good value out of it by sniping out your lords or SEs, then they wasted a whole bunch of money. But yeah, some Chaos Furies in the sky as well. But as you can see with that triple core, they have to go with a much smaller build, especially when they're going with Plague Bearers who are obviously more expensive than Marauders, but more durable than Marauders. Yeah, a single unit of Plague Ogres with great weapons to deal with the Minos. I don't think that'd even be enough, but they're fairly expensive. I think they're like 1600, 1650. So. Chaos Fury has been sent over to fight Malagor, but Malagor isn't a terrible fighter, and even then, like, he can just drop down if the Beastman player is careful with it. Just stop. So this is an issue right here. So Malagor is just taking free damage while he's trying to pull him out of the fight, and obviously he's struggling to pull out of the fight. So in cases like this, you want to either A, drop down Malagor into the spears and let the Furies deal with spears deal with the Furies while you pull Malagor out. Or B, keep him in the fight and just let the Ungor Raiders shoot the entire time. I'm surprised that the Nurgle player is pulling the Chaos Furies away. If you wanted to go after Malagor in the first place, I would have just kept him there. But instead, they do go after the Ungor Raiders, which is a fine choice. That's probably the initial engagement I would have gone with. But on the other side, we do have Chaos Furies and Plague Bearers taking this fight with the Zangors and the Exalted Hero aiding as well. Centaurs running away as they don't want to fight the have to do with the Exalted Hero. Centaurs being chased around by the Chaos Furies as well. That's pretty much also what you use the Chaos Furies for, is just chasing after the Centaurs, but you have to make sure that they have support because otherwise they'll just get attacked by the Centaurs of Tzeentch. Or sent into melee by the throwing axes, as there's quite a few of those Centaurs. But the Exalted Heroes are making some of their value back by just running around harassing the Centaurs, which is exactly what you want to do with them. Malagor is still in that fight with Chaos Furies and taking quite a bit of damage while doing so. A Flock of Doom cast on top of these Plague Bearers, but definitely not a good cast there. Want to be casting it over in this area where you're hitting multiple units and getting a lot more value out of it. But yeah, unfortunately, Malagor is finally brought down to the floor and be able to get away from those Chaos Furies if they get some support. But yeah, a lot of their Centaurs are kind of just sitting idly by, not actually, unfortunately, doing anything. The Centis need to go around and get through this little gap that they have here. Get these throwing axes on top of the great weapons and just go around with the Centaurs cycle charging or just dealing with the Chaos Fury issue that's going on right now, because right now the Chaos Furies are just reigning free in their back line, just doing whatever they want. Like these, where's the other one at? The other one over here was able to chase out these Centaurs for free because they had no support, and now they're harassing Malagor for free because they have no support. Again, Malagor has no support. And yeah, these throwing axes, their value is pretty much non-existent at the moment. The Nurgle is pretty much just dictating the game at the moment. Malagor does take a nasty rancid visitation overcast, and he might just be sniped out this game without doing a whole lot, as he only has 537 value so far. So if the Beastman player loses this, that's most likely going to be why. Yeah, the Plague Bearers just grinded it out with the rest of the Angors. And honestly, the build is fine. The build is exactly what you want to go with. It's just, as a Beastman, you're going to have to spend a lot of your time microing your Centaurs. The Centaurs are your win con. You got to utilize them properly. Same with Malagor. I like Zotes. I wish that they were A, little cheaper, and B, they weren't just reskinned Dragon Ogres. But yeah, I think Zotes are awesome. I think they're very cool, like lore-wise and stuff like that. They're pretty cool. I like their bound abilities. I like that ROR unit. I've only seen it once. I think it was one of you that brought it. I don't know if it was Hayseed or Shiryuki. One of you had brought an ROR Zote. Might have been somebody else actually as well. But yeah, the ROR Zote is pretty cool. But we have the Chaos Furies landing in, and pretty much encircling these Grog Hubs over front, and they're probably going to be shut down now. The Beastman balance of power is looking to be in their favor for some reason. I do not know why. I think it's probably because of the Centaurs of Tzeentch. And to be fair, I have been ignoring like the actual play with the Centaurs of Tzeentch, so the Beastman player might be doing poorly with the other Centis, but with the Tzeentch Centis, they're doing wonderful with them. As you can see, they have a nice rear charge on those Plague Bearers. They have those magical attacks, and they will absolutely destroy those Plague Bearers. They're really, really solid into demon factions. And yeah, the Plague Bearers are probably going to go into disintegration here soon. These Centaurs being chased away by these Furies. A nice, whatever that thing is called, the Stream of Corruption going through those Zangors. Luckily, Malagor is still up. He didn't get successfully sniped out. That might have been a failing from the Nurgle side. As he's now able to get free cast off still, or rather just get those cast off, which normally wouldn't have been in there. Urinex is getting some volleys into the backs of Plague Bearers, which is pretty good. Where are the Ogres with great weapons at? They probably on this side, maybe? Yeah, here they are. They are finally coming back with 9 models left, 41 HP. Plenty of HP left to heal if they brought the healing on them. Did they? No, they didn't. They didn't bring any healing at all. That's very interesting on the Nurgle side. Yeah, the ROR Zote is so incredibly expensive. The regular Zotes enough are too expensive as it is. But yeah, they're just like they're atrocious. But it seems like the Beastman player is fortunately actually going to be able to make it out with a win here. Yeah, just some misplays on Nurgle's part as well. But the hero squad is grinding things out here a little bit, and they are taking full advantage of the fact that Beastmen don't have great leadership. Nice Stream of Corruption also going through the Beastmen infantry. Nurgle is playing this well here, abusing the fact that they can just blob everything up and Stream of Corruption it. This is why you don't want to blob up against SCs like this, because they're just going to punish them with Mortis Engines and spells like that. But nonetheless, yeah, the Beastman player is going to win it out. I missed the Rock Glorious Rot. Let me check. Let me go back in there. Where was it? What target was it on? Was it on like anyone in particular, like an infantry unit? I want to see what the damage was like there. Is there already end of the Euro blob? Okay, I'll check it out. Surprised you didn't capture the point a lot sooner, because it's just sitting there and nobody capping it. Because typically when I'm up against like a skirmish faction like the Beastmen, I wanna capture the point as soon as possible and let them continue to skirmish while they ignore the point. Yeah, the Exalted Hero got punted away by those Santa Cruz's Ancient, didn't they? Oh, where are the... Oh, what happened to the great weapons, by the way? I saw them on the point and then they moved over here and then I completely forgot about them. Did they fight the Santa Cruz's Ancient? Is that what happened? I just realized that. But they do end up taking the point. Oh, and actually it's going down because of the cap weight from these two Sentis. Nice stream of corruption there. Yeah, I definitely would have bought probably I mean the Rats of Visitations is good. But not having any healing really sucks when you're bringing ogres with great weapons. Here we go, Rock Risk Lot. So right now 3302. Let's check that out. Oops. Zangor's at 3220. And it's spreading, by the way, to all these other units. Let's see if any damage is really done. So 31 32, 3052. Yeah, that was like extremely underwhelming. It's nice that it spreads, obviously, but that's what, a second, or is that a third tier army ability? I think it's second, right? Tier army ability, and it just like does like what, 500 damage, 600 damage. I'm trying to think of the numbers there. I wasn't. It was like what, 700, 800, like 800 maybe. Healing, it's third tier. Yeah. What the hell? That is that is so crap. Yeah, exactly. I understand now why you were saying like, imagine if it was like the Sword of Cain. It should be like the Sword of Cain because Jesus, third tier armor ability. Okay, you have Zinch's army ability, which is incredible. Third tier armor ability, which is incredible. It's obviously hard to land. But still, when it does land, it's fantastic. Same with the Sword of Cain, or Corn, excuse me, not Cain, but Sword of Corn. And then you have Rot, Glorious Rot, under third tier army ability, which does less than 1,000 damage, about 800, less than probably 800 less. And right below that, you have an incredible healing spell, which also spreads. Like, are you joking? Rot, Glorious Rot is just so bad. Yeah, the streams did more damage. They absolutely did, and they cost less. You had to wait less time to get streams out, and you missed the potential of a healing. Obviously, you only have 2 units left, right? But still, like in any other situation, if you're gonna choose healing that or healing over, like even you have multiple units left, you always got to choose the healing, right? Because the Glorious Rot just does practically no damage. It's not worth it. If it's gonna do that poor of damage, it needs to like provide something else at least, like some form of debuff. Because Nurgle army ability is already hard enough now as it is to get because of the change from damage to debuffs. Yeah, that's pretty haggard. Alright, I did have Nardu also bring Krokar in, who should theoretically be on his mount. Let's see how he does. Debuffs also does seem to count. Yeah, I've seen that as well. It's a bit bugged at the moment because for some reason, like I think they like overhauled the army ability thing without actually like going through first and doing all the messing with the debuffs as well. So it kind of just they overhauled it for no reason without like fully checking it all, which is quite unfortunate. But skinks in the front line with some Croxagores in the back line as well. Some paddle variants, no power fists at all. Look at these guys, they're so cute. Look at them, all with their little hammers on, so cute. But we also have some Ripperdactyls as well up in the air. Krokkar on Grimlock. He's a big boy. Typically don't see him on Grimlock nowadays because he's just kind of like mediocre. I do love Krokkar. He's my favorite Lizardman Lord in general. And Grimlock, him and Grimlock were just like the absolute pair to go with. Him and another Carnosaur, or another Scarvet on a Carnosaur in Warhammer 2. So definitely does not see the days anymore. But with Hand of the Gods that got that magic missile change, it's pretty good now. So at least he has that, and he's a decent fighter. He's a decent fighter. But for the rest of the army, we do have a Skiing Priest of Beasts with Flock of Doom and Cube of Darkness, which is interesting. And we also have a Bastiladon with a Rev Crystal, because you got to bring a Rev Crystal if you're going to bring a SE like Krokkar. For the rest of the army, we do have for the enemy army, excuse me, we have Herald of Tzeentch. Does have the Chromatic Tome and Final Transmutation. I'm pretty sure they said that they brought the same exact build throughout the entire tournament, aside from like small variations like bringing less Bloodletters and choosing to bring Fiends instead, like in that last game. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they brought this same exact build for majority of the game, and they said that they had good success at it. So that obviously means something that the OC is like ridiculously strong right now. Which I'm glad for, because before that, demonic units were kind of crap because of how poor their leadership was. They took a little bit of damage, and they were going into instability and not recovering from it because of how much damage it does compared to crumbling like undead. So, Bloodletters, they will absolutely tear through Saurus. I hate to see it. I really hate to see it. I want Bloodletters dead. I want Saurus to mulch through Bloodletters. Give me it now. Saurus are the best. At least that's what Lord told me. That's what my books told me. Make Saurus better. No, I'm kidding. I know their Bloodletters are supposed to be terrifying. So, Fiends and Plague Toads as well. I haven't seen Plague Toads from them at all. So that's a variation there. We also have some Chaos Furies in the air and some more Flesh Hounds. Gotta go. GG's everyone. Thanks for hanging out, Hayseed. I'll catch you later. And well played in the tournament. Have a good rest of your weekend. But we are going to have the infantry engage, and these poor skinks are literally being sent to slaughter. Like, it's actually horrendous. If any of these Bloodletters died to skinks, they should probably be ashamed. Because, like, look at the massive chip hit damage from that initial charge. The Croxagores are a little bit late to joining the fight. Honestly, they should be with the skinks on the initial engagement, and unfortunately Nardu kind of just let that slip. It happens. Ripperdactyls do get on top of the Sour Guts, but the issue with jumping on the Sour Guts is that once they're the annoying thing about them is in melee their units die. Once they die, they do damage, so Ripperdactyls will be taking damage in return once those models die. But I think it's a lot better than infantry. I don't know if it's as good against monstrous infantry like Ripperdactyls. Either way, Fiends are nearby, and so are Furies, and those Ripperdactyls are going to pay for it. Unfortunately, they're taking a lot of damage very quickly. They're very squishy glass cannon units, and you really hate to see it. Overcasted Flock of Doom hitting the Bloodletters plus Nurglings. Doing some solid work there. Bloodletters getting absolutely beaten apart and torn apart by the Croxagores. Love to see that. Chaos Furies and Fiends on this right-hand flank have done some good work collapsing that, and now are going to collapse in on the Croxagores. So what looked good initially for the Croxagores is now going to look bad for them. a Hands of the Gods shooting into the Herald of Tzeentch. Probably would have preferred that on, say, like the Fiends, but nonetheless does some okay work. Final Transmutation overcasted most likely. Yep, hitting the Croxagores and the Ripperdactyls plus the Skinks, doing some solid work. Skink Priest trying to dodge out of the way from the Sour Guts as they shoot in. Actually, they're shooting at the Croxagores at the moment, but Stilodon is trying to disrupt them, and the Croxagores do join in to help. Ripperdactyls get torn apart by the Chaos Furies and Fiends, unfortunately for them. That's no surprise. Probably would have bought maybe the Colossal Hunters. No, I can't say that because it's too risky bringing them. They're way too soft. And I probably wouldn't bring Ripperdactyls in general. But Crocar does jump in there on the Bloodletters and fights it out with the help of the Croxagores. Plague Toads will probably start being chewed apart, hopefully, by that by Grimlock. Skink Priest of Beasts, just helping out as well, trying to help out with his little staff of his and the pecking from the Pterodon. He's trying to provide some utility, some help. But another Flock of Doom hitting those Fiends, overcasted. Actually, excuse me, the Fiends. The Fiends actually. The Fiends plus these other both Fiends as well in total. Actually, and plus the Sour Guts. A nice Flock of Doom there. Tzeentch just throwing his little shots in, and he's hanging about, floating in the air. But overall, the point is captured by the Demons of Chaos at the moment. Balance power not looking so great for the Lizardmen, and that's no surprise there. I mean, what do they have left? They have a single unit of Croxagores, some Skinks left by, and there was Stilodon, who's unfortunately being killed by the Fiends at the moment. Though it's slowly but surely, because the Stilodon takes no flanking. They get no flanking penalties, so that's pretty nice about the Stilodons. Another Hands of the Gods shot in, but again, would have preferred that on the Fiends rather than the Herald Lord. Crocar jumping in there and just completely missing the Herald. No surprise there. Crocar, always over misses, always over hits. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, Hazard. This is probably what Crocar should have been doing in the first place, hunting down Fiends as his prey, keeping them in check. But unfortunately, he's been elsewhere. A Rev Crystal does go down on him, gonna heal him up a little bit. But I do think, unfortunately, that it will be going to Demons of Chaos. Crocar does join in on the fight once again, but as good of a fighter he is, he's not going to be able to finish off the rest of the army. Though he's doing some pretty solid work against the Bloodletters and the Noglings. But another overcasted Final Transmutation comes in, and that'll be spelling the end for the Lizardmen, as Grimlock screams out in anger. But alright, let's see. Looks like the values here. 1132 here on Nardu, 1122. Everything else did fine. Definitely Croxagores needed to be up in that battle a lot sooner, so the Skinks could survive. Everything else, let's see, nothing too spectacular aside from the Fiends, which is no surprise there. In 1803 on the Herald. See here, there's quite a few more left. But I am probably going to call it there and just start like casting some of these in videos, because I do have a few other things I need to do today. But I appreciate a lot of you guys for joining in and watching. It was really fun. I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. I know some of you who played in the Dom tournament are wondering about when I'm going to publish those, when I'm going to stream those or record those. I'll try to this week. I've been pretty busy, but when I get the chance to, I'll stream some more of them or record videos of them. Actually, hold on, Shiryuki, you almost let me forget about the freaking dreaded triple Zote, or was it double Zote? Hold on, I can't go just yet. I gotta just stream the Zote one. What am I talking about? Where's it at? Let's see. That will be the last one. Let's see if I can try to find Wells. Yeah, there we go. I guess Britonia. Hiroyuki, you almost let me go by without streaming that. Come on. So not only do we see double Zote, we see the freaking Green Knight brought in, which is pretty cool. I love seeing the Green Knight. Fey Enchantress, got Chalice of Potions and Regrowth plus Earthblood. And her Mist Lady, of course, plus Life Bloom. We also have a Paladin on horseback, a Green Knight. The Green Knight himself. He doesn't have his Dolores blade, but he is here. He is ready to party. And let's see how he does. Rest of the army, men at arms. We also have some Pez Bowman with fire arrows and double Guerrelique. It was funny. I think, who was it? Pigman? Somebody mentioned that, like, for some reason, new players do this a lot with the double Guerrelique. And honestly, I used to do that as well. But yeah, you really only need one. The other double one is just not worth it at all. Just bring the one. But nonetheless, yeah, pretty good. Keeps your little peasants in the fight. We also have some more spearmen at arms and double Pegasus Knights, which is pretty interesting. We also have triple Knights of the Realm. Should be able to duel it out with any Wild Riders, etc. But obviously, if Zotes get on top of them, they will pay the price. Those Zotes aren't super heavily armored. They only have 60, so. Don't worry. I always try to cast the fun games. I can't go without them. But Dryads, double Dryads up front. We also have some more Eternal Guard surrounding the army. We also have more Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts and regular Glade Guard. Plus double Zotes. One being the Enigmas of Ghyran. Yes! The super overly priced Zotes who are just a purple variant of the normal version, but they do look cool. Flesh to Stone and Regrowth that they come with. I think the base version comes with Earthblood, yes, Earthblood and Flesh to Stone. Do they get any more casts with them? No, Flesh to Stone is still 2 uses. Regrowth is just the 1. But yeah, they're pretty good. Just extremely expensive. Better melee stats. But we also have the Wild Hunters of Kurnus. Oh yes, for the Spellweaver, we do have Earthblood and Flesh to Stone plus Opal Amulet. She is on her eagle, her little pigeon. But right off the bat, we do have the fire arrows shooting in. I'm not sure what hit them immediately. Was it... Oh yes, the Glade Guard are in range, so they're firing back, and Pez Bowmen are taking a lot more fire in return. Definitely would probably move the fire arrows back and start shooting at the Dryads maybe instead, because obviously they would not trade well. Especially if you're shooting into Dryads. If you're going to trade into the Glade Guard, you need to actually shoot at the Glade Guard. But the Brittany player is starting to encircle with the peasant army. The Pegasus Knights have been left behind, unfortunately. The Knights of the Realm going around as well. Peasants do get into the fight and will lose out to Dryads eventually, but it should be a close fight. Especially with Fey Enchantress and the Paladin joining in. The Great Knight should probably not be in here. Should probably go around and find a different target. But the Glade Guard are shooting in. We do have a Chalice of Potion probably coming in here. Oof. Ah, it's hitting the Wild Hunters of Kurnus too. Nice. I know he did a little bit damage to the Wild Hunters of Kurnus, but still, that was solid on that Glade Guard. Overcasted from the Fey Enchantress, presumably. Or no, it's actually from the Glade Guard that are shooting at her. She needs to stay in the trees or stay in a melee fight so that she can avoid some of those missiles. We do have the Enigmas waiting for those Knights of the Realm. The Wild Hunters of Kurnus do join in on that fight and get in there, start fighting the Green Knight and all of them. Though they should probably pull it out, help deal with the Zoats. Excuse me, help deal with the Pegasus Knights and Knights of the Realm. Zoats do get charged in the flank by the Knights of the Realm, but they don't really do much damage, honestly, in that charge. And honestly, the Spearmen as well can just help out with the fights. So the Wild Hunters being in the front isn't too bad, but they are taking a bit of damage from peasants and other units that they shouldn't be. Knights of the Realm coming over, trying to get into that little squeeze there, and they do squeeze through and get on top of the Glade Guard, but it's like a very limp charge. I'm not sure why. I think it's because the Zoats cut onto them just at the very last moment and stopped them from charging, which is beautiful because that would have been very bad for those Glade Guard. But yeah, the Zoats are getting in there fighting and whacking those Knights of the Realm with their big old stone mallets. If they actually hit, if their animations actually go through, come on, any day now. They're just sitting idly by. Zoats, please do something. Jesus, what is happening? Are you gonna swing your hammers at all? Oh my god, they're just getting murdered. They're not doing anything. Okay, finally they started swinging, but the entire time they were just taking damage for free, no reason. Yeah, this entire freaking blob fight here with the Green Knight, Paladin, and all that. But where are the Enigmas at? The Enigmas. Oh, they were busy chasing off Knights of the Realm. Pretty good, pretty good. They're fighting them and scaring them off, but that is a very heavy cost investment chasing down those poor Knights of the Realm. The Earthblood coming in, or is that a regrowth? I think some Earthblood, possibly. And might see another Chalice of Potions here if Shirayuki isn't careful. Oh no. Oh, those poor Wild Hunters and Eternal Guard. Yikes. That was heinous. That was pretty bad. I'm surprised the balance of power didn't move up a little bit with that. But to be fair, I mean, we still have quite a few infantry left for the Wood Elf side. More Eternal Guard coming over. Glade Guard are still up and shooting. We still have some Dryads up as well. The Enigmas are full HP, ready to beat down on these Knights of the Realm. Oh, nice. That initial charge doing, you know, a decent amount of damage. Not too bad there. A little chip damage. But they are trying to get away. The Enigmas of Gairan should probably encircle and finish off this Paladin Green Knight. I don't know though. That probably sounds easier said than done. The Green Knight and Paladin could actually fight them off. Knights of the Realm continue the chase after the Glade Guard, and these Zoats do come back, however, trying to screen out those Knights of the Realm from chasing off their other Glade Guard. Yeah, Zoats are a little bit, they're not super slow, they're 45. So they could theoretically try to catch up to the Knights of the Realm, but majority of the time they just have the advantage of 84, so. Earthblood coming in, or is that a regrowth? Earthblood coming in and hitting the Green Knight, the Men-at-Arms, and the Paladin. They're making this blob fight go a lot better for the Bretonnian side, as the Enigmas are being slowly whittled down, but they also get a Earthblood in return. The Enigmas might be better to come over here and finish off that Paladin, but the Weaver on an Eagle, look at her fighting back with a pigeon. I was almost honestly thinking there that maybe the pigeon could have finished that Paladin off there, but no. Maybe that was wishful thinking. Knights of the Realm coming over. Going to get a charge there on those Eternal Guard. Nice little side charge there, running down those elves. You see the Enigmas of Gairan. What's their value looking like right now? If I can actually click on them. 55, 14, 42. Look at that. They're almost close to paying for themselves. Might be able to do it. They just need, you know, probably to kill Fey Enchantress or the Paladin or something just to make up for that value. But they are beating down on the Green Knight, and that's some solid value there. They are removing his magical attacks and he's hitting him with that spell resist. Not that that matters, of course. But Spellweaver's trying to chase down the Fey Enchantress and does unfortunately get caught out there. Oh no, that could be pretty bad for the Wood Elves if that Spellweaver is killed there. The Zotes do come over to try to help, but they're pretty beat up. I'm not sure if they'll be enough. Spellweaver does pop Open Amulet, so she does have that 20% ward save. And she's trying to make her way, a little pigeon, trying to make their way past those horses, but they have a lot of mass, those horses. Can she make her way through? Oh no, please don't tell me she's gonna get killed out there. No, the Fey Enchantress does end up routing off, thanks to the help of the Eternal Guard. Nice! Pigeon Lady does get away and sends the stinky Lady of the Lake back. Beautiful game from both players. They did some solid work at 2,094, 901 there, and 1,064. Green Knight was a heavy investment and just did not pay off as he was encircled and beaten down by those enigmas of Ghyran. Everything else did okay. The Green Knight there should have been used as like a harassment piece, getting into the back line, getting into the Glade Guard, harassing the Spellweaver every time she landed, and just kept the Paladin near the Fey to protect her. 1,059, yeah, the Knights of the Realm did some solid work there. Zotes were never really able to catch them as they were freely able to dictate the engagements. Their speed. Pegasus Knights, I didn't even see what happened to them, but they got brutalized. Zote supremacy over flying horse. We're trying to think they're fancy with their dumb flying horses, and here come the Zotes with their big stone hammers. 33. Everything else did not too shabby. 1539 there on the Wild Hunters, 908 and 2541 there on Enigmas of Ghyran. Look at that, they paid for themselves. Congratulations, Enigmas, you did it. You finally did it. You actually made yourselves worth it, but you're still stupid expensive. That what's happened when they landed? That's what happened. I see. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. I did see them initially try to land on something, but I like started paying attention somewhere else. But I almost missed. I was like thinking in my head, no way they're gonna land on the Zotes, right? No way the Pegasus Knights are gonna try to just decide an engagement with the Zotes. No. So I just like disregarded it and kept looking elsewhere. But nicely done, Shiryuki. Love to see it. Let's see, where was that at? Red versus Wood Elves. I also liked that they were beating down the Green Knight. That was pretty cool. Gotta say. Let me see how much they cost exactly. I know you guys told me last time, but I just want to check again real quick, just to make a point. I mean, yeah, 2050 by the way. The Wild Hunters of Kernus, which are fantastic, two of the best RORs on the Wood Elf roster, if not the best, are under that at 1,100 and 1,500. You could get two Deepwood Scouts for that price, plus like almost let's see, so 1,700. Yeah, like it's a little bit more, like 50 to 100 more. to get an Eternal Guard and 3 Depot Scout and 2 Depot Scouts. That's the price of the freaking Enigmas of Gyran. What's the price of them compared to, say, a 2050 up against the overpriced Rot Beast, the Rot Knights? 2400? Yeah, both of these are so extremely overpriced. 2400 and we have 2050. Like, what is that? Base ones are 1650. Those are, yeah, those are already like way too expensive as it is. With 1650, again, you can spend that 1500 on the 100 Kernus and have 150 left over. And just get more like Wild Riders or something. Obviously, they have anti-large and Wild Riders don't. But still. Just right there is a... you're already down to 8700. And that's without your Lord. So that was pretty brave build. I love to see it. Yeah, for sure. That's if there's one faction out there that was worth trying to make it happen, I definitely think that would be against Bretonnia. I think it was a Gyran. If only the Wardens of Cithril could also be used there. I mean, they do have Armored Sundering, Magnificent Large, and they also have Guardians of the Wildwood. But you're never in a forest. This is useless. Freaking useless. So yeah, at that point, you might as well just go for the freaking Loix Tricksters at that point, because they're better fighters. Plus 10 melee defense. They'll hold on for a lot longer. Obviously, the Wardens of Cithril have a lot more weapon strength, and they have magical attacks. You don't need the magical attacks against Bretonnia unless they bring Flesh of Stone. And I'd rather my Loix Tricksters, my Spearman unit, survive in a fight rather than it means them doing more damage quickly. Plus, the Loix Tricksters also have Shadow's Coil and Storm's the 2 proc abilities. Yeah, you can't. Yeah. No, I get it completely. At least you aren't memeing with the Lost Silver Knights. The Lost Silver Knights they're just so bad. Like, I wish they were better. They got a buff recently, but they just still suck. They're so glass cannony without the cannony part. And like so many factions have magical attacks, like majority of the time they're gonna struggle against it. And even if it wasn't magical attacks, spells will do a crap ton of damage to them, so. You know it's very viable? Not against Bretonnia, obviously, but against like some factions. Triple Bladesinger is pretty viable. I've seen Ryder Bruhan do that. And they're incredible. They will absolutely blend through most targets, and just, especially if you pop like Shadow's Coil, they will do wonderful work. No, a real meme here is Hawk Riders. I don't like Hawk Riders. Some people try to justify them, but I hate them. I really think they're so bad, and people just like, but just like don't charge them in, and like you utilize their missiles properly and use them as like flying cav to like use them like to supplement other cav units, and it's like, no, you're paying 1,000 for that? No. The Naked Lady rush is a pretty good rush. You gotta admit it. It's a pretty good rush. You could also go with the Stagnite rush, but also bring a Lariel. Ariel's pretty fun. I said Lariel, but Ariel. Ariel's pretty fun. Bring that berry wine. Bring Dwellers. Or Soulstealer, whichever. One of those two. Yeah, Hawk Riders are so thorough. Again, I don't know how people justify them. They're so ridiculously bad for 1,000. Like, Blade Riders do so much better for their price compared to Hawk Riders. Yeah, Hawk Glade Riders aren't armor piercing in melee, but at the same time, I don't want my 1,000 priced 24 model flying missile cab in melee majority of the time. I don't see why she's not a lord. It doesn't make any sense why she isn't. She should be. They also need to bring Kodo in. I'm begging CA to bring Kodo in. If I know some of you don't know who Loopy is, but if Loopy is able to balance Kodo, then CA can. Bring it in Kodo. We need another tree man. And make him. I wouldn't even. I'd be fine even keeping him with his hero, but it'd be cool to have him as a lord too. Yeah, his stats are pretty nuts that's why you need to balance him, because he also has this as well. And yeah, look at this armor sundering, anti-large, 110 armor, 100 leadership. Yeah. Yeah. Just balance him and bring him in place. Yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out and watching the stream. If I have time, I will cast some of your games another day, or make some videos on them sometime this week maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Again, with the Dom games as well, I'll try to get to those, but I'll try my best. I feel bad if I can't, but I'll try. There's just a lot of things to be casted, and gotta be honest, it's extremely hot here. So right now, I am absolutely melting. And again, I've been busy. So, but yeah, I'll catch you guys next time with another one, and I'll see you guys next weekend or sometime during the week if I host a tournament. Thank you guys for watching. Congrats to those who, or rather, congrats to Shirayuki once again, and well played to everybody. Hope you guys had fun, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.